From the banks of the Hocking, inside Bob Wren Stadium, this is MAC Baseball from Athens. Hello, alongside Charlie, I'm Carl Blaylock, and it's an absolutely beautiful day for baseball. You couldn't ask for much better for mid-March, and Charlie, I mean, this is two teams that are really looking to try to finish out this series strong. For Ohio, there's been a lot of positives, but the one big negative has been the eighth inning. They've given up a ton of runs in the eighth inning in both of these games, and it's cost them both as they try to avoid the sweep today. For Bowling Green, they're looking to go 3-0 as they try to defend their MAC regular season title from last season.
Yeah, Ohio's really just looking to salvage something out of this weekend. They've had some ups and some downs. They've had some pretty consistent offensive output, but they just struggled to close out games. Like you said, that eighth inning, they've given up several runs going back several games, back to West Virginia earlier this month. That eighth inning yesterday, I believe they gave up 5 runs to BG in that eighth inning. But key for Ohio, they need to keep that starting pitching momentum going back to Friday. Blake Gasky gave them 7 great innings of work, including 6 strikeouts. And yesterday, Hudson Bacall went 6 2/3 with 7 Ks to his name. And another thing they got to do is just keep the ball in the yard. That game was in hand for the Bobcats yesterday until the eighth inning with a 2-run blast and a 3-run bomb off of Brady Birchmeier's bat for the Falcons. One thing for BG, they just got to maintain this production across their lineup. From the leadoff hitter down to the 9-hole, they've been pretty consistent, putting balls in play and keeping defenses on their toes as we start to get ready for play here in the first.
It's Dylan Masters on the mound for the Bobcats today. The left-hander, 3.86 ERA, 14 innings pitched this year, has not had a decision. Batting average against .333. He'll start off against Gunnar Antillion for the Falcons. Antillion, a .268 batter. He'll take strike one on the inside part of the plate. Antillion's got a 4-game hit streak and has also scored a run in the last 5. That one's going to be outside. 1-1 the count there.
And Antillion yesterday only reaching safely on 1 at-bat. Had a single at his last time up. Fielder's choice to strike out in a couple of ground outs. But he's been a pretty consistent piece here for Bowling Green throughout this season.
Got a 7-game on-base streak as he's going to chop that one foul through the coach's box. 2-2 count for Antillion.
And this is something we saw a lot yesterday. Bowling Green working counts, getting behind a lot, falling back 0-2, and then being able to battle through foul balls and just good vision at the plate.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be sent out in right field. Out there is Ben Slanker. He'll make the catch. 1 down in the inning. Defensive alignment for the Bobcats. We got Masters on the plate. Then Trey Cassidy behind the dish. And stepping in will be Sam Seidel for the Bowling Green Falcons. Seidel on the day, 302 on the season so far. It's got 7 hits in the past 4 games, including 2 yesterday. He's going to take that pitch outside.
And Sam Seidel yesterday, 2-run bomb there in the 8th to get things going for the Falcons late in that game. And OU really regretted that. That was one thing that they need to work on, is just keeping the ball in the yard. That game was in hand yesterday until Sam Seidel decided to poke one out of here.
Masters off the plate again. All 3 of these pitches off the plate. And I kind of wonder, are you a little bit gun shy with Seidel? The last at-bat he had yesterday was a home run. As there's a pitch inside. That's a good pitch there. Good break inside after showing him breaking outside.
Yeah, relying on the fastball heavy here. That one looked like a little bit of a sliding action coming back towards the batter. And that's the same pitch right there, right down Broadway.
How about Masters working his way back from 3-0 into a full count here? And got it looking. Masters with plenty of strikeouts this year. That is now his 17th strikeout of the season. And quickly 2 outs as Garrett Wright comes to bat. And Wright has been on fire this weekend. 6 hits, including with 2 RBIs, and has scored 3 runs.
Yeah, Wright hitting .388 on the season, but his defensive impact, and some could say, is greater than his offensive. As yesterday, Ohio had bases loaded, runners on 3rd and 2nd several times, and he was able to get his knees in the ground and blocked several pitches that would have, scored a run or maybe two if they were to get by him.
That pitch missed. 1-1 count against Wright as he sent that first pitch pretty far. If he keeps that straight, that was a gapper. Hits him. That hits him, Garrett Wright. And actually, he doesn't have too many of those this year. It's actually his 7th, but he had 21 times last year he got hit by a pitch.
Yeah, he can really, lean into some there. And, he's no use to getting free bases yesterday. Intentionally walked was, Garrett. He's got some pop.
Now Brady Birchmeyer, and this is the last person you want to see with anybody on base. Birchmeyer, as that pitch is outside, has a 13-game hitting streak. Every single game that he's been in this year, he has gotten a hit.
Leads the MAC in hits and RBIs this season.
That pitch outside again from Masters.
You see Masters very fastball heavy, mixing in a couple changeups. Yet to see too much breaking stuff from him. Looking for a backdoor slider there.
That pitch low. Not too big of a lead over there for Wright. Only about 3 steps off the bag at first.
We saw yesterday Hudson Bonkel threw over 7 or 8 times in one at-bat, keeping runners close.
Here's Masters' pitch. That'll be a strike. Catches it. Well, middle of the zone on the outside corner of the plate.
It was a great job behind the plate by Cassie to frame that pitch up.
And a strike. Birchheimer thought he was going to get a walk there, and the count runs full again.
It's another great way to battle back from down. It was 3-0. Coming back, throwing 2 straight strikes.
Here's the pitch, and that'll be fouled back into the screen by Birchheimer.
Birchheimer hitting .340 on the season. 20 hits to his name so far through 53 at-bats. He's been one of the more consistent pieces for Bowling Green. Hasn't missed a start so far this season.
Does have 10 strikeouts, though. That's one thing you can say. Chop, that's going to go foul past third base.
Fighting off pitches, Birchheimer. Not letting this one go easily. Anything in the strike zone. He's got some great vision and great contact ability.
Which, I mean, especially, when you're seeing the ball as well as he has, especially in the early part of the season. With the collegiate season, especially early, when you have some of these colder games, it's a little bit harder to see the ball. And when you're seeing the ball this well early in the season, you can only imagine how well you're going to see it. But he doesn't see it well there. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 runner left on, as it will be the Bobcats up next when we come back here from Athens. Go through the lineup for the Bobcats as they bat here in the bottom of the first. Matt Enoch, J.R. Nelson, Trey Cassidy, Ben Slanker, Nick Dolan, Jackson Cothran, Paulie Mantino, Dylan Shepard, and Caleb Carl. Landon Willeman on the mound for the Falcons, and his first pitch is a ball just outside to Matt Enoch. Yep. And Enoch, I mean, he's just been incredible so far this year. The freshman leading the Bobcats with a .472 average, 17 hits and 36 at-bats. Can't complain about that.
Yeah, Enoch leading the MAC in batting average as well. And as we take a look at Wilkman, he 13 and 2/3 innings pitched so far. His last time out was against Southern Illinois in a winning effort. And he pitched 5 innings in that game. Gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. One big thing about his game is his strikeout to walk ratio. Pretty high, 12 Ks on the season, 11 walks. 7 of those came bases on balls and 4 hit batters.
He does have, as there's a swing and a miss there from Enoch, but he does have a lot of success against the Bobcats. He pitched against them last year, and he shut the Bobcats down at a career-high 6 1/3 innings pitched, as that's going to be lifted into left field. A little bit of a gap there. Is it going to stay fair? And diving, it is a fair ball as Antillian, the shortstop, tried to run over there and get it. He couldn't, and that is a double for Matt Enoch to start this game. And as I talk about Willeman only giving up 2 hits last year against the Bobcats when he played them. No walks, no earned runs. Already a runner in scoring position on the first batter as J.R. Nelson will come to the plate.
Yeah, it's a great job there by Matt Enoch, just picking one out into shallow left field, just kind of dropped in no man's land. You saw Antillian, the shortstop for Bowling Green, come over and try to make the play. Landed just a couple inches west of that foul line.
Was a very good attempt there from Antillian. I mean, he had a long way to go, and he covered the ground, but it's one thing to cover the ground. It's another thing to be able to grab the ball afterwards, as J.R. Nelson will take a strike 1 there.
Yeah, Nelson steps in, 3 RBIs on the season. Hasn't been hitting very well with runners in scoring position, but Matt Enoch has some wheels on him. He can score from second from just about anywhere.
And Nelson does have a 7 on-base streak. He'll take that, get it going. Trey Cassidy next.
That's a nice high breaking ball there from Willeman. Starting out there at that front shoulder and just kind of diving across the plate there.
Willeman looking back, now throws outside. Good job by Wright to hold on to that. You talked about it. Wright's a very good defensive catcher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yesterday he saved several runs by just getting his body in front of it. Not afraid to give up his body to save a couple runs.
That's going to be pop foul. Pretty decent lead there by Enoch at second base. Say about 4 or 5 steps off the bag.
And this middle defense for Bowling Green, up the middle, they got Antillian at short and Seidel there at second. Combined for at least 5 putouts yesterday just between the two of them. A couple hard steps there towards third from Enoch.
Yeah, and he kind of got a little bit spooked because Wright came up with it really good. Wright didn't have the ball. Enoch definitely could have taken third base, but decided to play it safe and go back. And I think that's a fair play. He probably didn't see the ball. And he figured Wright had it, and you don't want to run yourself into an out when you've got no outs and a runner on second. And a pickoff attempt by Willeman.
And we saw that yesterday from the Bobcats, especially at first base, and not necessarily so much at second or third, but taking that secondary lead, and then once the ball gets to the catcher, taking 3 or 4 hard, good steps towards the next base.
That's popped up, not going to be playable.
It's a good job here by J.R. Nelson, just staying alive, fouling a couple balls off, working this pitch count here for Willeman.
Yeah.
Bowling Green threw 4 guys yesterday in a nice bullpen combination in order to get the win. Starter Nick Good yesterday only threw about 4 innings.
That's going to be sent behind third base. Antillian again going over there. It's in the same spot. This time Antillian able to get over there and hung up enough to where he was able to make the play behind third base.
And Antillian running, like you said, back to that exact same spot. Overran the ball a little bit, had to come back to his right. Unable to make the play there, 1 down in the inning.
Might have been a little bit of the wind blowing it back a little bit. That ball hung up there for a while, and especially when the ball's up in the air for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not a heavy wind, but it's a medium wind, and that's enough to probably blow it a little bit, but a good job adjusting by Antillion. And Trey Cassidy will come up to bat.
It is blowing straight out to right field, as you can see that American flag out there in right field. Same as it was yesterday, and we saw Seidel yesterday for Bowling Green just kind of put one out there in right field, and it just kept carrying, ended up getting out of here.
Cassidy sends it down the line, foul by about a foot. Quickly an 0-2 count against him.
OU needs to capitalize here with runners in scoring position. That's one thing they were unable to do yesterday. They left 10 men on base and 9 in the first game on Friday.
That's going to be sent into center field. Out there is Parker. He's going to be able to make the catch, and good throw in. No opportunity for Enoch to move forward. So he'll stay at second, and Ben Slanker will come up to bat.
Right now, Williman's just doing a great job of throwing strikes. That's all you really need to do here. With this defense behind you, very strong defensive team here for Bowling Green.
Slanker, 275 hitter, has an 8-game on-base streak, has 12 walks during this streak, also leads the MAC in home runs with 5. Here's first pitch outside.
Slanker yesterday, a little bit of a down day, 2 walks, ground out, strikeout, and a fly out. Falling off a little bit from his normal production, but he's looking to get back at it today.
Had 2 for 4 on Friday. That's a strike, just catching the outside part of that plate, and they're really pitching him to the outside. They do not want to get that ball inside, trying to get him to chase.
Yeah, this is a trend for Bowling Green throughout this weekend. Outside to lefties, inside to righties. That was a nice breaking ball there on the outside corner.
Swing and a miss. That might have been his pitch there for Slanker, but a good curveball there from Williman.
Yeah, just kind of froze him a little bit. Coming back inside after that outdoor breaking ball, pitch a go. It's a good job of just changing his eye level there too.
Still outside there, 2-2 the count against Slanker now. Ohio trying to convert the leadoff double by Enoch.
That one was high and outside. Look for him to come low and inside just like he did with the last 2 pitches.
That one's going to be popped out behind. Do it again at 2-2.
You're doing a good job here early of just working counts, fouling pitches off, making Williman throw strikes. As we saw it with J.R. Nelson, that full count. And here we go again.
Making Williman throw pitches as well. Already 16. That's going to be chopped foul.
We saw Slanker yesterday in a ground out to third base. He broke his bat right off the end of the bat. And maybe he just hasn't been seeing the ball very well this weekend, but new piece of aluminum in his hands here today.
It's hard to break an aluminum bat.
Yeah, it was just right off the cap on the top there.
It's a 2-2 pitch. That's going to be fouled back towards us.
Look alive back here, Carl.
Oh, yeah. I've had that before. I did a high school game last year. Had a ball hit me about 3 feet away from my head.
Yeah.
It's always got to stay alert, though. And he's definitely seen the ball well. Just, got to get that timing right for Williman. And that's where having that slow pitch earlier in the at-bat's really kind of messing him up, I think. Outside. And that might have been one, you're kind of getting him in a little bit of a rhythm. Move his eye outside. Yeah, it's a throwaway. Either you get him to swing or he's sitting there thinking, looking a little bit more outside, maybe go a little bit inside here. We'll see what he does on this full count pitch. Curveball high, and that'll be a walk. Slanker, we talked about it, that he had 12 walks during the last 8 games, make it 13 now in the last 9. And Nick Dolan will come up. And Dolan on a 6-game hitting streak. Only got 1 hit in each of the games so far this series. 1 for 4 on Friday. He did have a stolen base and scored a run. and 1 for 5 on Friday. Also scored a run there as well. On the season, he's 239. It's not very many times you see a guy on a hitting streak, especially early in the season, as that pitch catches the inside part of the plate. Not very many times you see a guy batting 239 on a 6-game hitting streak this early in the season, but he's able to get one hit, but just can't string together multiple hit games.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Dolan yesterday, reached safely on a single, ended up coming around to score 2 strikeouts, a fly out, and a ground out. And
That
one
pitch
misses high.
Yeah.
Dolan's another one of those players where his defense speaks louder than his offense down there at the hot corner. He was able to make several great plays on his backhand coming towards that third base foul line and then showing off the arm strength, being able to get the ball across the diamond.
Second base is playing almost right on the bag. There is a big gap over there, as that's a strike. They're kind of playing Dolan to pull it over to left field.
That was a great inside breaking ball there. Kind of froze him a little bit. Saw that same type of pitch in that last at-bat.
That's going to be popped high up in the air. I think that's going to get out of play. It will. About 5 rows deep. Right behind the plate. Do it at 1 and 2. 2 runners on, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Dolan's going to send it up the middle. It's going to be a tough play. Grabbing it, throwing it, second. Got it! Seidel, a good job running to his right, grabbing the ball and getting to the base just before Ben Slanker gets there. And the Falcons get out of the inning, work around the leadoff double. We're scoreless as we head to the second. Take a look at the Ohio defense as they start this top of the second inning. Dylan Masters on the mound. Behind the dish is Trey Cassidy. First baseman's Dylan Shepard. Second baseman Matt Enoch. Shortstop J.R. Nelson. The third baseman Nick Dolan. Left to right in the outfield Caleb Carl, Paulie Mantino, and Ben Slanker. Up to the bat now, T.J. Takis. First experience for him in this series as that pitch outside. His last appearance was last Saturday against Southern Indiana. It was 1 for 2 with a stolen base. That one's going to be sent over to second base. Enoch able to grab it, throw over in time. Ground out 4-3 for out number 1 in this top of the second inning.
It's a great sliding play there made by Enoch. We saw this Ohio defense make consistent plays. They made the easy plays that they had to, but they also made a couple pretty spectacular ones. Things that come to mind were that fly ball out to Ben Slanker, where he had to run about 40 yards to his left in order to make the play, and Paulie Mancino with a nice over-the-shoulder diving grab to shut down a couple Bowling Green opportunities.
Caden Parker up now. He's cooled off a little bit this series. It's a good frame there, but not able to get it there was Cassidy. But Parker's cooled off this. He was hot last weekend, had 9 hits against Southern Indiana, Southern Illinois, and even stretched into the game earlier this week for Bowling Green against Dayton. But so far this weekend, only 1 hit, 1 for 8. Was an RBI hit, though.
We mentioned Masters 16 strikeouts coming into today, has 2 already in that top of the first inning. 1 looking, 1 swinging. Works a full count here against Tackett's. Good pitch there.
It's going to be
just
a walk.
missed inside. Yeah.
It's going to be a walk to Caden Parker. First walk of the day. And now Gavin Gunnan up to bat. Gunnan on a 4-game hit streak, had a 3-for-4 day at Dayton on Wednesday, 1-for-3 on Friday with an RBI, and 1-for-5 yesterday. On the season, he's batting .300. Only started. Now this is his 8th start on the season. First pitch, swing and a miss.
Yeah, Gowden yesterday was able to reach safely on a single, couple of strikeouts, ground out and a fly out.
Going, pitch outside, slide down, safe. Caden Parker with a stolen base. That is his 2nd of the season, and there wasn't much that Trey Cassidy could do with that pitch being outside.
Yeah, the pitch was just outside, caused him to slide a little bit to his right. And that Coach Craig Moore down the third base line just asking for a little clarification there, as that was a pretty bang-bang play down at second base.
To me, it looked like the ball got there before, but by the time this tag got slid down, looked like Parker was already in the base.
It was a good job there by Inez just to control the ball. It was a little bit high to his left. Able to make the catch and apply a tag just a little bit too late.
Here's the pitch outside again. Give me a 3-1 count.
Masters only now 6 walks on this season so far, with that walk given up to Parker. So not a whole lot of bases being surrendered there by Dylan Masters, as there's one once again.
Back-to-back walks. And now Garrett Sloan up to bat. Sloan pinch hitted yesterday and scored a run. Got a stolen base, also got hit by a pitch, and had a sac bunt as well. I wonder if we might see another sac bunt here with no out. Sloan, a 148 hitter.
Sloan came in yesterday in relief of Alex Laird at third base. Put together a pretty good performance, reaching base safely in 2 of his 3 at-bats.
That one's going to be chopped. It looked like that was fouled off the catcher's mask. Sloan, a transfer from New Mexico State. Originally from Goodyear, Arizona. As pickoff attempt there by Masters. A lot of really good baseball out there. That's where the Reds spring training facility is. I believe the Guardians are around there as well. So it's a good spot to be if you want to be a baseball player. That's going to be lifted left field. Going back, Carl. And at the track, he got it. What a catch. Caleb Carl able to make the leaping grab on the warning track and saves at least a run, if not 2, for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Carl going back, looking over his right shoulder, just jumping up and being able to make that play, taking away for sure extra bases and probably 2 runs for the Falcons. That's something we saw a lot of yesterday. Ohio being able to make those spectacular plays in order to save themselves some pain later in the game.
So now it'll be Zach Horkey, 250 on the season, only has 12 at-bats coming in. His last start was at USC Upstate back on February 23rd, getting the nod today. And yesterday he came into the game in relief, was 1 for 3, did score 2 runs, had a double and a walk. A double would be really nice here for the Falcons.
Yeah, came in for the injured Chase Chopin, and Chopin went sliding back into first base yesterday, as there's another strike there from Masters.
Great pitch. Masters trying to get out of the inning, work around the 2 walks he has. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's going to be popped up. Looks like it's going to go into shallow right field, and it hangs up in time for Slanker to make the catch. And 2 walks are avoided. Both teams now runner in scoring position and not able to convert it. We head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless here in Athens. Bottom of the second here at Bob Wren Stadium. Let's look at the Falcon defense on the mound for them. Landon Willeman behind the plate. Garrett Wright, first base. Brady Berkheimer at second base. Sam Seidel. Shortstop Gunnar Antillion. Third baseman Garrett Sloan. Left to right in the outfield Gavin Gunnan. Caden Parker and Zach Horkey. Leading off for the Bobcats this inning, the designated hitter Jackson Cothran. And Cothran on the season, 286, and he definitely did a number, raising that up a bit with a 3-for-5 day yesterday.
Yeah, Calthron, 2 singles and a double, was Mr. Reliability in the bottom half of that lineup yesterday for Ohio.
A little bit of a conversation looked like between the home plate umpire and the Bowling Green dugout, as that pitch was a ball. Another good frame, but another ball. It looks like Willeman's a little bit frustrated with some of these calls that he's getting. I mean, I think that they are balls, but they're really good frame jobs from Wright.
And we saw this yesterday as he misses outside on that one. These pitches low in the zone were called, kind of 50-50 whether or not they were balls or strikes. A little bit of vagueness, I'd say, at the bottom of the zone from the home plate umpire.
That's going to be a strike. Gets a little bit more inside. And I wonder a little bit if sometimes with the umpires, when you have as good of a catcher as what you have in Wright behind the plate, I almost wonder a little bit if you kind of train a little bit of bias against, knowing that you've got that, as that's going to be a pop out to the shortstop. Antillion underneath it makes the catch. But I wonder a little bit if when you have somebody who's as good as framing the ball as Wright, you kind of sit there and want to make sure you don't get tricked a little bit, and so you're a little bit behind, or you're a little bit against, if it's borderline, but you see the glove move, you think maybe that's a ball.
Yeah, and that just speaks to how good Garrett Wright is behind the plate.
Paulie Mancino, he had a great game yesterday, 4 for 4. Oh, he almost got hit there, just inside.
Yeah, Mancino, 4 for 4 yesterday, 3 singles and a double. And he was really manning down the back half of that lineup for Ohio, hitting in that 9-hole and playing out there in center field.
He's got 10 hits over the past 6 games, including that 4 yesterday, and a 5-game hit streak in games that he started, not including that Marshall game. He only pinch ran in that game, so I don't know exactly how that works with hit streaks actually, because he didn't take an at bat. But
you called it on base streak.
He didn't get a hit. Well, no, but he pinch ran, so he didn't have an at bat. I don't know what they call that, but as far as I'm concerned, I mean, he didn't take an at bat in the game, so I think that's still a hit streak. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss.
Another full count here for Willeman.
And that's been the one thing for Mancino this year, 14 strikeouts and 42 at-bats. He's going to save himself there. That's going to be fouled off down the right field line.
And that one on the high outside corner. Mancino just throwing his hands at it, able to stay alive. 4th full count so far of this game for Williman. His pitch count's climbing up quickly.
And it's going to have another one as Mancino able to get a piece of that one as well, staying alive.
We saw this earlier with J.R. Nelson. Just able to keep battling at the plate. Ohio not giving up on pitches, not giving up on at-bats.
Here's Williman's pitch. Fouled off again. They set that one out on the outside of the plate. And you talked about it, a lot of this series they've been outside to lefties, inside to righties. This time they're going a little bit to the outside here. And that's up the middle. Antillion can't get it, diving past it. And that's going to extend the hitting streak for Paulie Mancino.
That's a good piece of hitting there. Fouling off a couple pitches, working that count full, and then finding the one he liked and sending it right back up the middle. Antillion unable to get it. Ohio racks up their second hit of this one. Mancino out down there at first.
And coming to the plate, Dylan Shepard. Shepard, a 125 average, but he got a big hit yesterday, an RBI and double, when he came in to pinch hit. Getting his first start since last Sunday against Butler. He was 0 for 2 in that start. Got hit by a pitch. That pitch outside, ball 1 against Shepard.
Yeah, Shepard only 16 at-bats on this season, hitting 125. Like you said, big double yesterday, and a comeback effort by the Bobcats.
He got a piece of that one, but a little bit too early there as that'll go down the first base line. But he tattooed that ball. If he can straighten it out, get that contact, when his bat's centered up a bit, that'd be a hit. Runner goes, it's out, popped up. Mancino's got to get back, and it's dropped. It's an infield fly rule, running to second.
And Mancino's
going to be out. Well, is it not? I thought the infield fly rule would be in effect. Maybe not. It's going to end up being, I guess, a fielder's choice. Let's see what they score that. Error and a fielder's choice, I guess, but 2 outs. That pitch is going to be a strike to Caleb Carl. Carl 200 on the season. Went 2 for 6 on Wednesday with 2 RBIs and a double against Marshall. Only appearance in this series 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk yesterday. That's a swing and a miss there for Carl.
We saw Carl earlier making that great play, leaping over his right shoulder on the warning track to keep this a 0-0 game.
That pitch inside, 1-2 the count against Carl. See what officially they scored that as. It's an error. Out at second by the pitcher then. That pitch outside counts 2-2. There's strike 3 looking for Caleb Carl. It's a pretty good pitch, and that'll wrap up the inning as Williman once again works around a hit. We're heading to the third, still scoreless here in Athens. It'll be back to the top of the order for the Bowling Green Falcons to start this third inning. Gunnar Antillion flew out to right field his first time up, and Dylan Masters so far looking pretty good. Has not allowed a hit. Had 2 walks last inning, and a hit by pitch in the first inning, but he's worked around it pretty well.
Yeah, able to capitalize that into 2 strikeouts. As Antillion steps in for his second at-bat of the game. Ohio coming into this one, the 9th worst pitching team in the MAC. The 7.53 ERA across their pitching staff.
That pitch low again. 2-0 the count.
Ohio yesterday able to throw 11 strikeouts. Got 2 so far right now. And Masterson keeps Pepper in the zone. That was a good big swing and a miss there from
That's the
Antillion.
thing for Bowling Green. They don't strike out very often. Or no, take that back. No, they do strike out pretty often. 110, they don't walk very often. My bad, got my mixed up, as that's going to be out to center field and caught. Antillion gave it a ride, but the wind kind of died down to the worst time for him. It wasn't that much, and right out in that alcove at center field, right at the 405 is where that was caught.
That was a good read there by Mancina. His first step was back, able to move a little bit to his right and make a play.
So Sam Seidel now. Seidel was one of those strikeout victims, struck out looking, and he's not going to do it this time. Sends a ball over the dugout down the first base line. He was excited for that pitch, just a little bit too excited, couldn't wait. I don't think Masters is going to throw another one like that. There's a strike.
It's a great pitch there by Masters, just right on the inside half. Kind of froze him a little bit as he was looking for another fastball there. Masters took some heat off of it.
That's going to be chopped foul, and a really good job there. You got the 0-2 count, throwing something off speed, a little bit outside. You know, you've had 2 pitches that were inside, throw them something off speed, still in the zone, but outside because you've got some time to work with here. You have 3 extra pitches.
Yeah, Masters can get a little creative here with the back 3 pitches of this at-bat. There's a little runaway slider there from Masters trying to get a swing and a miss, but Antillion hanging back there.
That one missed as well to Seidel, and the count goes to 2-2. And now you got to tighten back up a little bit. And that's something to where you loosen up a little bit with the 0-2 count, try to get a few throwaway. Now you got to tighten back in, get back in the zone, and gets the swing and a miss.
Masters went off speed and threw his third pitch of the at-bat into the dirt there. Comes back fastball and fans Seidel for his 3rd K.
So now it'll be Garrett Wright. He got hit by a pitch the first time. He came up, was stranded at first.
That makes 19 on the season now for Masters. 1 away from the team lead.
That pitch outside to Wright. Wright's going to pop that up. Going to go into foul territory. 3 people there, and the catcher couldn't get it. Cassidy is, you know, we talked about it. We saw it last inning with Bowling Green, to where you had not great communication between the pitcher and the third baseman there. The first baseman, the pitcher, and the catcher were all in the same area, and there was just too much room, not enough communication there, and Cassidy isn't able to come up with the ball.
Well, those ones going straight up in the air are always difficult. It was a good effort there from Cassidy. He's only able to come up with it. That one just missing outside. 2-1.
That one just a little bit low. Good eye there from Wright.
Garrett Wright only saw 3 pitches his first time up. Taking a little bit more of a cautious approach this time around.
And it's just going to be just a little bit outside. That's going to be a walk, the 3rd walk of the day for Masters. And now Brady Birchmeyer. Birchmeyer got it to a full count last time, but was struck out. He is the Falcon offensively with a .340 average, a 13-game hit streak as well, and a home run and 4 RBIs yesterday.
And we mentioned it earlier. Three-run blast from Brady Birchmeyer really blew this game open yesterday. Ohio was trying to mount a comeback, and that's something that Bowling Green has done very well throughout this game, is keep fighting through those Ohio, surges. As OU was able to match them, blow for blow up until Brady Birchmeyer put one over the left field fence right off the scoreboard. That ball was blasted yesterday.
Birchmeyer watches a pitch outside. Masters, let's see what he brings him back here. Swing and a miss. I think Birchmeyer's just not quite seeing the off speed quite right from Masters. He's gotten fooled by a few of those pitches so far today.
Definitely a fastball hitter, Brady Birchmeyer. He was able to sit back on one across this series and lift one out of here yesterday, but kind of shying away from the off speed, focusing on fastball.
That one's going to be over to third. Dolan has it, not going to have a play at second. Throws over to first in time, and that'll end the inning. 5-3 ground out, and Masters works around the walk. Middle of the third, still no score here at Bob Wrenn Stadium. Matt Einig to lead off for the Bobcats. He had a leadoff double to start this game offensively for Ohio. Got stranded out there, though.
And there you see Williman getting ready to take the mound here in this bottom of the third. Several full counts and a lot of very high pitch count at-bats for Ohio, making him throw a lot of pitches. And fouling balls off, battling very well at the plate so far through two for Ohio.
It's a ball, but I mean, what? You're looking at 53 pitches through 2 innings.
Yeah.
Not exactly what you want from Williman. That pitch inside a strike, 1-2 the count. Williman from Napoleon, Ohio, and it's only about 30 minutes away from Bowling Green, as he'll send the 1-2 count. And that's going to be sent into left field. Working back there, Parker and Gunnan will get it, the left fielder. And that'll be 1 out in the inning. But Williman from Napoleon, Ohio, about 30 minutes away from Bowling Green to the west on US Route 6. And there's a lot of really good baseball over there. Henry County is what Napoleon's in. You got a few kids from Fulton County as well. The county to the north of Henry there, from Archbold and Wassee on Connor Penrod. He's had 2 saves for the Falcons. DJ Newman as well. He started the game, as that's going to be a strike to J.R. Nelson. They've got some really good backyard talent over from the west there. Luke Krause as well from Antwerp, as that pitch is going to be sent down the left field line. That's going to go down into the corner. Nelson heading for 2. Getting it is Gunnan, and stopping at second with a double is J.R. Nelson. It's the hardest hit ball we've seen today so far.
Yeah, J.R. Nelson just waited on that fastball. right over the middle of the plate. Sent it down the left field line, just out of reach of Sloan at third base. Rolling into the corner, and J.R. Nelson's got some wheels with a stand-up double. The Bobcats are in business here in the bottom of the third.
And now Trey Cassidy will come up. Cassidy with an RBI yesterday, had 2 walks on the season, 11 RBIs.
And J.R. Nelson definitely needed that one, only reaching base safely 2 times yesterday, a couple of flyouts and a strikeout.
That's going to be chopped over to third, or over past the first base dugout.
Trey Cassidy flew out to center field his first time up, only saw 3 pitches. Able to foul that one off there for strike 1.
That pitch outside, going to get away from right, and moving up to third base is going to be Nelson.
And we were just talking about Garrett Wright's ability to keep the ball in front of him. That one just skipped a little bit up the first base line, and J.R. Nelson, good heads-up base run and took advantage.
And that's where that big secondary lead we've talked about for Ohio having, that helps with that. You know, if you only have like 2 or 3 steps off the back there, I don't think you get to third base, but you get it there as, again, that's low. Williman's struggling a little bit with his control now.
Yeah, we've seen him spike a couple pitches here in these last couple innings. Missing low with the fastball. Maybe go a little bit off speed here.
That's going to be sent down the first base line. Down into the corner. Nelson's going to score with ease. Cassidy up to second. He slides in with an RBI double.
Back-to-back doubles here for the Bobcats as they take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. There's another good piece of hitting there, almost identical to what J.R. Nelson did of at-bat before. Just waited on that fastball right over the heart of the plate, pulled it right down the line out of the reach of a diving Birchmeyer and into that corner. Zach Horkey's been busy down there this series. He came in yesterday for Chopin, who ended up getting hurt early in the first couple of innings. And he's had a couple doubles to deal with so far yesterday and today.
Now Ben Slanker, swing and a miss. He tried to send that over the fence. The MAC leader in home runs with 5, tried to get his 6th there and give the Bobcats a 3-0 lead. Ohio does lead now 1-0. 0-1 count against Slanker, and he's going to foul that back into the fence quickly, 0-2.
12th RBI of the season for Trey Cassidy. It's a great piece of hitting there from Ohio's catcher.
Williman delivers, and Slanker sends that out to right field. It's high, it's deep, and it is gone. Home run number 6 for Ben Slanker. And it's 3-0 Ohio. Horkey was over there. He tried to bring it back, but it was gone about 10 feet to the left of the 340 sign out in right. And we're going to see a few people head down to the bullpen for the Falcons after that.
Yeah, that ball hung up there in right field for what seemed like forever. You saw Horkey just fading towards that right field foul pole, and the wind blowing straight out to right field. Gave that ball a little bit of an extra push, and Slanker tallies his 6th home run of the game, or his 6th home run of the season, excuse me, as Ohio takes a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the third.
So now 1 out for Nick Dolan as he tries to keep the machine rolling. That pitch is going to be a strike, 1-1 count. Dolan with a fielder's choice to second base, unassisted to end the first inning. His first time up. Swing and a miss. He tried to send that one over the fence. Big swing and miss. 1-2 the count.
And that's one thing that Coach Craig Moore talked about was not only the production of Ben Slanker, but structuring his lineup so that the people batting in front of him and behind him can put up some decent numbers there as Nick Dolan goes down swinging.
Swing and a miss. That's the 2nd strikeout now for Williman as he tries to settle back in.
Yeah, Ohio, 5 hits so far in this one They had 13 hits yesterday. They actually out-hit Bowling Green yesterday in an 8-6 loss. And Ohio just having a tough time capitalizing with men on base and staying alive when they get down in counts. 10 strikeouts yesterday for Ohio.
Coffrin sends that one high in the infield, and the third baseman missed it. Sloan misses it, and heading to second is going to be Coffrin. That ball had to have been up about 100 feet up into the air, and Sloan couldn't find it.
That's a second infield drop for Bowling Green. That's mistakes that Coach Halleck for the Falcons are going to want to see cleaned up here, as we got 2 outs in the inning. Now you got a runner in scoring position as opposed to heading back to the dugout to bat here at the top of the fourth. Sloan's going to want that one back.
And it's Paulie Moncino who had a single his first time up.
It was going to be scored as a double for Jackson, for Jackson Calthron. It's 3 doubles in the inning here for Ohio.
That's going to be fouled off. All right, actually did catch the screen. A 1-1 count for Mancino. Not very many times you're going to see a double that only goes 30 feet on the field.
Yeah.
Y-axis went about 100, but X-axis not so much. Ducking out of that one is going to be Mancino.
Another 1-1 breaking ball. Ohio's been capitalizing pretty well on the fastball for Bowling Green. Watch for Mancino to maybe sit on one here.
Whoa, it hits him. Quite a bit of working out there in the bullpen for Bowling Green, but I don't think he'll be ready yet. We'll see. Maybe we see a mound visit here as things are getting pretty shaky.
Yeah, here comes Bowling Green's pitching coach. The whole infield's going to come in here as they figure out how to deal with Dylan Shepard and try to get the third out of this inning. Working very hard out there is Williman. He's struggling with his control on his breaking stuff. His fastballs have been missing low. There's Ohio not going away here in the bottom of the third after putting up 3 runs.
Yeah, and this has been the innings that Ohio have needed. You know, you've needed to see some hits strung together, and they're finally able to get the clutch hit, especially with Slanker in the home run, and now you got another opportunity here as Dylan Shepard will come to the plate. Shepard had that fielder's choice error in the first one, popped it up in between third base and the pitcher's mound, and neither the pitcher or the third baseman could come up with it. They were able to get it out at second, though. See what Shepard can do here. Had an RBI double yesterday. Could he do it again? That pitch outside.
And Dylan Shepard, only 2 hits on the season so far, a double and a home run. 3 RBIs on the season so far for the Bobcat first baseman.
That pitch low, and it's a 2-0 count. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be sent right to the first baseman, Birchmeyer, able to grab it and step on the bag. But Ohio able to get 3 runs after a J.R. Nelson double, a Trey Cassidy double, and a Ben Slanker 2-run home run. 3-0 as we head to the fourth. Bobcats lead here from Bob Wren Stadium. Ohio now with a 3-0 lead after a very productive third inning. And now Dylan Masters, let's see what he can do with a lead. As TJ Takas will come up. Takas grounded out to second base. His first time up.
Yeah, it was a really hard hit ball his first time around, just right to second baseman Einich. And Masters with his 60th pitch of this game.
Yeah, both pitchers had a lot of work here. As 2 balls to start this inning. That's going to be chopped over to second. Grabbing it and throwing it over is Einich. And another ground out to second base for Takas.
Yeah, that's one thing that Bowling Green has not been doing that Ohio has been seeing pitches deep into at-bats. A lot of full counts and a lot of foul balls kind of extending at-bats a little bit. Ohio's been doing a good job of that. Bowling Green swinging early and making contact early is Takas there. Only saw 3 pitches so far in 2 at-bats.
Now Caden Parker. Parker got a walk. One of back-to-back walks for Masters. Going to be a strike there, 1-1 the count. Also got a stolen base, did Parker.
It's a good job working inside there by Masters. Changing the eye level also as you see him go upstairs there with a fastball, just misses.
2-1, but I think that's one that you're fine with because now you've had 3 different pitches, 3 different spots in the zone. So that's going to be fouled off down the first base line. Count goes to 2-2 against Parker.
Yeah, changing the batter's eye level is something that Masters is focused on here in this game. Changing up a little bit, keeping these Bowling Green batters on their toes. It's been working here as the Falcons are hitless, and there's another
Strike
K.
3 looking. A very emphatic strike 3 call. Good pitch there by Masters.
That's his 4th strikeout of the game. Second one looking. That was an excellent breaking ball there. Just a little mini slider. Started out over the inside of the plate and just broke a little bit to the outside. Froze Parker there. 4th K of the game.
Now Gavin Gunnan. He's on a 4-game hit streak. Reached on a walk. As that first pitch is going to be a ball. That one just a bit outside as well. And Masters going to take a little bit of time, and actually he's going to see Cassidy.
Yeah, may call for the athletic trainer here as both coaches are going to come out.
Masters kind of walking around behind the mound.
Masters putting up a great performance here. 67 pitches through 3 innings.
I didn't really see, did anything happen on that last pitch?
I don't think I saw anything either. It might be his lower body. He might be trying to walk it off, as there's the athletic trainer for Ohio.
I don't see really anything. Maybe it's something. It might be something maybe like a calf or something. Ankle, I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't look like he's favoring anything when he's walking around.
Yeah. Landon Price heading out to Ohio's bullpen, getting warm. Price threw yesterday.
Only, I think, 14 pitches. So.
Yeah, he came in there just at the very end of that game. Got the last out of that 9th inning. As Masters is going to warm up here. Throw a couple more pitches. Looks like he winced after that one.
Yeah. Still walking around a little bit and see. I think he says he's all right. He's going to go for it.
And with Landon Price down there, I would assume that this would be the last inning of work here for Masters. Putting up a great performance here.
I guess we'll see how he feels after the end of this inning.
Yeah.
He might be able to talk his way back out to the mound, but you've already had about 70 pitches, and if you're not feeling the best with that ankle, is that pitch a strike?
That's what he needed right there.
2-1 count.
Yeah, getting on yesterday, reaching base safely once as he flew out, as he struck out twice, flew out, and then grounded out to third.
That one chopped off the Ohio dugout. So quickly, a 2-2 count. That one's going to be sent into center. That's going to drop. Base hit right in front of Mancino. And that's the first hit that Masters has given up all game. A few walks. a hit by pitch, but no hits until now. But you like that, 3 2/3 innings without a hit.
Yeah, Ganun able to just sit back on that breaking pitch in the top of the zone there, just poke it out to center field. And that's what Bowling Green did well in the game yesterday, was just kind of dinking and dunking balls, dropping, just dropping in fly balls where Ohio wasn't. And able to put up a couple runs off of that yesterday was Bowling Green. You see it there from Ganun.
Garrett Sloan sends one down the right field line foul. No one count. Sloan flew out to left field. That was that really good catch out there by Carl, saving a run. That's going to be out into center. Mancino's got a read on it and barely has to move to make the catch. Masters only one hit through 4 innings as we head to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Ohio leads. New pitcher for the Bowling Green Falcons. Logan Bell will come in, a senior from Lisbon, Ohio. Transferred from Akron, made 17 appearances last year from the pen, had 17 strikeouts. This is 4th appearance this year. Last appearance was only a third of an inning, giving up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, a double hit by pitch against Southern Indiana. And the first pitch there is going to be sent out to center field, high out to center field, but it's going to be a fly out for Caleb Carl. 1 pitch, 1 out for Logan Bell.
Yeah, another interesting thing here about Logan Bell is only surrendered 5 free bases so far this season. 3 walks and 2 batters hit by pitches. He's only given up 5 hits so far this season with an 11.57 ERA, as you said. We'll see if he can improve on those numbers here this afternoon.
That pitch low as it back to the top of the order to Matt Enich.
Yeah, Enich doubled his first time up and then flew out to left field as Ganun came on to make that play. Seeing a 2-0 count here, his 3rd time up.
That pitch going to be a strike, just catching the inside. The book on Williman closed. 3 innings pitched, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 6 hits, 3 earned runs. That's going to be chopped up to second base, able to grab it, throw over to first, not in time. A good attempt there by Seidel, but an infield hit for Enoch. That was a tough play. And a good job to get on base.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier the strength of the middle infield here for Bowling Green with Seidel and Antillian. Seidel coming on, running over that second base bag to his left. The throw just took Berkmeyer off the bag down there at first. And the MAC leader in batting average reaches safely for the second time this afternoon.
So now it'll be J.R. Nelson. He started the rally last inning with a double. Came around to score. And he's going to send that to left field. It's going at the track. It's gone! A 2-run homer for J.R. Nelson, his first of the season, and it's 5-0 Bobcats.
J.R. Nelson there, got all that pitch. Inside fastball, you saw him lean back on it, generate a lot of power off that back leg, and send that one into the netting over that 340 sign out there in left field. 5-0 Bobcats. 8 hits so far through 4 innings. As Logan Bell, things are going from bad to worse for him.
And more activity out in the Bowling Green bullpen. And that's the thing for Bowling Green. They have plenty of good pitchers. They got a 5.81 team ERA, but you get down, especially on the Sundays, you get farther down, the depth gets less and less.
You mentioned that first home run of the season there for J.R. Nelson. A 2-run blast, 5th RBI of the year for the shortstop for the Bobcats.
Now Trey Cassidy, he takes strike 1. He had an RBI and double his last time up. As that pitch outside, and especially for Bell, you know, this is about the worst spot you want to be. You had the 9-1-2, but you give up 2 hits to the top of the order, and now you're going through the heart of the lineup. As that pitch outside again, 2-1 the count on Cassidy.
Yeah, we'll see if Logan Bell can work a little bit more on his fastball here. His breaking stuff is missed pretty wildly. A little bit of control issues here for the Bowling Green relief man. There's a fastball that's going to find the outside half. Strike 2.
Yeah, 2-2 count on Cassidy. That pitch outside, and the count runs full.
You see Garrett Wright set up there on that outside half. Is not necessarily trying to pitch away from Trey Cassidy, but don't want to give him anything easy.
Especially after giving up that home run. That's going to be sent into the gap. Right center field, and it is off the wall. Horky had a chance at it, couldn't get it, and it's another double for Trey Cassidy.
Trey Cassidy barreled that one up pretty well. Solid launch angle there. I thought it might have had a chance to get out of here as it hit about 5 feet up on the wall out there over Horky's head. Wind still blowing straight out to right field, so any ball lifted that way, you know, has an opportunity. And Trey Cassidy with his second double of the game, keeping the Bobcats in business with 1 out.
And Logan Bell lucky that it's at Bob Wren with the cavernous alleys they have here.
And we mentioned off the top that a key part of this game for Ohio was just keeping the ball in the yard. Bowling Green struggling with that very same thing now.
And now Ben Slanker up to bat. Slanker already with a home run, a 2-run one out to right field last inning. He's got another opportunity to pick up another RBI. That one outside again, 2-0. Slanker already with 17 RBIs on the season, including the 2 he had earlier. That is the team lead there.
Some good vision here from Slanker to start this at bat as there's ball 3. He reached base safely with a walk in inning number 1.
Trying to do it again here against an overmatched right now Logan Bell. And that pitch is going to be low, a 4-pitch walk. And catcher's going to come out And we're going to get a mound visit.
Yeah, it's Slanker's 14th walk of the season. By far the team lead for Ohio. And
I wonder if we're going to see, there is activity down in the Bowling Green bullpen. I don't know if we can see who that is. I don't know if he's ready yet. Doesn't look like there's too much throwing. Maybe they are ready.
there's somebody leaning over that bullpen door, and that's going to be it for Poole.
Yep. New pitcher for Bowling Green. We'll tell you about him when we come back. Ohio up 5 and still threatening here in the bottom of the 4th. New pitcher for the Falcons, Luke Kraus, left-hander from Antwerp, Ohio, a junior. ERA 6.35 on the season, 5 appearances, 5 and 2/3 inning, batting average against 444, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Got a win the last time he pitched on Wednesday at Dayton. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, walked, 3 strikeouts, did give up 2 doubles. As Kraus will come in, he's 2-time All-State. And Antwerp made regionals both junior and senior year, and that's really impressive from that school. I'm very familiar with them. As Kraus is going to have to see what he can do against Nick Dolan with the runners on first and second. That first pitch is a strike, but that's a really impressive for a school like Antwerp to make the regionals. That's a school that's only got about 40, 50 kids per class, and to have that much success, it really speaks a lot about Kraus and a lot about the other athletes there. And it wasn't just in baseball. They also made a Final Four in basketball as well. As Dolan's going to put down a bunt. Kraus has got it. Spin, throw to first, and a perfect sacrifice bunt there for Dolan. Moves the runners to second and third.
And Nick Dolan there laying down a good bunt right at Kraus. You mentioned Kraus giving up 12 hits so far this season, 4 earned runs, 7 Ks, like you said. 0 home runs allowed here, as that has been the only way Ohio has put across runners in this game so far. But they are knocking here with runners on third and second.
Cassidy on third, Slanker on second. That pitch going to be outside to Jackson Cawthron.
Yeah, Cawthron double his second time up, and then he flew out to shortstop Antilion his first time around.
That pitch just a little bit outside, 2-0. But, yeah, Antwerp, small school, but they've had a lot of success in baseball the last few years. And we talked a little bit about it earlier, the success at Northwest Ohio. There's a lot of really good kids over there the last few years. And a lot of teams that out of these small divisions, that's going to be sent back to the back screen just a little bit off of the bat of Cawthron. But there's a lot of these teams that have made runs in the Ohio State playoffs, and I'm sure it's going to continue with the expanded divisions. There's a lot of really good teams up in Northwest Ohio. We talked about Archbold. Antwerp made a few runs in regionals. I believe it was about 2018, as that's going to be up the middle over to second. Antillian's got it, throws over to first in time. Ground out 6-3, and Kraus able to get out of a bad situation there. And the Northwest Ohio, I mean, there's a lot of really good teams up there. Kraus, another one, making it happen at the next level. But Ohio still gets a lot on the board. It is 5-0 Bobcats as we head to the fifth. Five nothing Ohio leads. As Dylan Masters still going to stay out there. 74 pitches. We saw had something going on a little bit. Maybe landed wrong, but able to get out of last inning, and looks like he's still good enough for this inning as well.
And Zach Horkey's going to be the first batter he faces. So we saw him in that last inning, as you mentioned.
Ooh. Horkey sends that one down the third baseline foul.
As you mentioned, he may have messed something up there on his lower half, as he took a couple laps around the mound here at Bob Wren. But got checked out in between innings, and he had a lot of time to rest there as the Bobcats really poured it on in the bottom of the fourth.
So 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Strike. 1-2. Good pitch there for Masters, and try to get a quality start here. I think quality start needs 6 innings, but still getting in line for the win, I should say. Strike 3, looking again, another strikeout, and Masters really efficient on that batter.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, but Bowling Green struck out 11 times yesterday, and that's 5 so far for Ohio through 4 innings.
Yeah, 110 strikeouts on the season coming into the day. It's not exactly what you want to see, as that's a strike there as we go back to the top of the order. And Antillian 0 for 2 on the day, 2 flyouts, 1 to right, 1 to center. That's going to be fouled back into the screen, and quickly an 0-2 count. Get a Chick-fil-A sandwich. That's happy. As Masters outside trying to see. I don't know if they run it again. If he strikes out the side, do we get 30 people with Chick-fil-A sandwiches? Well, maybe not a strikeout there. That's going to be out to center field. Back out there again. Mancino had to wait a long time for that to come down, but it finally does. And there's 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, Mancino, it's the second time he's put away Antillian. Was able to get a lot of barrel on that ball. Lifted it towards center field there, just a little bit shy of getting it over that wall.
The wind shifted. It was blowing out to right, now blowing over to left. Interesting. That just shifted in the last few minutes. As first pitch to Sam Seidel is a strike. Seidel looking to avoid 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts on the day. Especially the way this is going, you could definitely end up with the sombrero if he's not careful here. That ball is outside, 1-1 the count.
Masters working all over the plate here. That first pitch inside, coming back outside with a fastball there. Masters is not messing around here in this top of the fourth.
That's chopped foul over by the Bowling Green dugout, 1-2 the count. And I think it's something, we've seen it a little bit more in the last few batters. Really, since he had that mound visit, he has been very direct with the hitters, and he's done a very good job of getting in front and staying in front. Ooh, just missed. 2-2 count on Seidel. That was a good pitch. I don't know how Seidel laid off of that with a 1-2 count.
Yeah, you saw Trey Cassidy set up on the outside of the plate. 2-2 here.
Oh,
same spot.
Same spot. Doesn't get the call again, and the count runs full. Those are two perfect pitches. And Seidel on that one, he even went a half swing. See if the third time's a charm. It's going to be fouled off. Woof.
The ball was going to hit him, I think.
Yeah, it it fouled off, nearly hit Garrett Wright in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. That's going to be down the line. Diving grab. Shepard gets to the bag. Great play by Dylan Shepard at first base. Diving behind the bag, grabbing the ball, and finishing the ground out unassisted. A 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Masters. We head to the bottom of the fifth. 5-0 Ohio. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Bob Wren Stadium. Ohio leads 5-0 over Bowling Green. Luke Kraus still on the mound. And Kraus, we talked about it from Antwerp. That's about an hour away from Bowling Green. And I think that's something that Bowling Green does a really good job of. There's a lot of small schools over in Northwest Ohio. We talked about it. A lot of really good schools. Archbold, some really good talent coming out of there. A few blue streaks on this Falcons team as Mancino watches strike one. That was a really good pitch there from Kraus, but there's a lot of talent there. Archbold, they sent Cade Kern to Ohio State. He's up in the MLB now, got drafted last year. There's a lot of really good talent all over, and when you're able to grab that and develop it, that's something that's absolutely huge, and you're seeing that with Kraus now as he gets a strike there.
Yeah, Bowling Green, one of those teams with only 4 players not from Ohio or Michigan, so staying home here in the Midwest, things are seeming to pay off for them as they're 8-5 so far on the season.
That's going to be fouled off back to the screen. I mean, and it's important. You see with this Ohio as well. You see with Ohio, you got Ethan Stewart from Meigs, and I mean, I remember watching him in high school. He had a game against Athens one time where he struck out all 21 batters he faced. It was really impressive. That's a swing and a miss strikeout there for Krause. Mancino goes down, but it's really important when you have really good talents like that in high school around you, be able to bring them into Ohio, and you see that, and you have kids who remember, hey, I remember playing against Ethan Stewart as a freshman. He went to Ohio. I want to do that as well, and I think you're seeing a lot of that in Northwest Ohio with Archbold especially, with Bowling Green. As that's going to be sent out to right field. That's out of here. A home run for Dylan Shepard, his second home run on the season. He has 2 hits, now 3 hits on the year. They're all extra base hits. 2 of them are home runs.
Yeah, Dylan Shepard certainly got some pop in his bat to start this season. As he lifted that one out to right field, wind shifted back, and that ball was out of here in a hurry. Put a real charge into that one. Shepard waiting back on a fastball. Got a nice inside pitch there. Very similar to the Slanker home run from earlier. And just powered that one out of here. And it's 6-0 Bobcats.
And he just ambushed Krause there as that pitch going to miss as Caleb Carl comes to the plate.
Carl struck out looking his first time up. Flew out to center field his second time around. Hasn't seen a whole lot of pitches here. He's only seen 5.
Has a strike, 1-1 count against Carl. Good frame job there from Wright, and it's quickly a 1-2 count. And Krause, minus leaving that one hanging there. He's done really good coming in a tough situation, and now that pitch outside, he's really pumping the strike zone, and that's exactly what Bowling Green needs.
Yeah, especially after having a pretty subpar appearance there from Logan Bell, falling behind 6-0. You need consistency here from Krause.
Chopper to short, right into the glove of Antillion, over to first in time. Ground out 6-3. That was just perfect. Bounced right off the turf, right into the glove. One hopper there for Antillion. Honestly, if there was any more hops there, I don't know if he would have been able to make that play.
Yeah, that was a good, nice little short hop play there from Antillion. Able to just stay down on the ball, running through that ground ball, firing it over to Birchmeyer for the out.
Back to the top of the order, and Matt Enoch. 2 for 3 on the day, a double, and an infield single last time up. Came around to score. That's a strike. Came around to score on that J.R. Nelson home run. That's going to be sent out to left field. Coming in and making the catch is Gonin. Krause gets him out in 4, but a solo home run by Dylan Shepard adds to Ohio's lead. It's now 6-0 as we head to the 6th. The end of the 6th inning, Garrett Wright will lead it off. He'll foul it off to the right as Bowling Green finds himself down 6-0. And for Ohio, now the big thing is for Masters trying to get as long as he can and get to the bullpen. It's been a little bit shaky so far this year. As we talked about at the top of the broadcast, the struggles that Ohio's had in the 8th inning, as that's going to be sent foul again by Wright. 1-2 count. But out of the games that have had 8th innings, Ohio's opponents have scored in every single one of them going back to February 26th against West Virginia. That's not including there was a Butler game that only went 7 innings with a doubleheader last weekend. But as that pitch is outside.
Yeah, to combat that, though, Ohio, the last 3 games have had their starters run into the 7th inning and got some run support here today with 6 runs put up. That one just misses on the inside half.
3-2, and I think that's one that Wright kind of bought because he was towing that line, and so it was close enough to him to where it's like, oh, that can't be a strike. It's right there, but he was right on that line. Is it again? He got hit.
Second hit by pitch today.
No wonder he got hit by 21 pitches when he's like pretty much almost on his tiptoes, like not quite leaning over the plate, but right on that line.
Yeah. Birchmeyer's going to make his way into the batter's box for his 3rd appearance. Struck out in the 1st and
ground
fouled
out
that
in the
up.
2nd, yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to extend his hit streak. He's adding the hit in every single game so far this season for the Falcons, but yet to have one today. That pitch outside. But for Ohio, I mean, you got to be able to figure that out. In the last 2 games, obviously, for Bowling Green, they've been able to win it with some big bursts in the 8th inning.
And defensively, Ohio making things difficult for Bowling Green. Only 1 hit so far.
It's a chopper foul. 1-1 count.
Birchmeyer's going to have to run that number up a little bit if he wants to keep that hit streak going and maybe get Bowling Green on the board here. So nothing really has been going on for the Falcons offensively.
Birchmeyer's going to send that out into the gap. Looking up and catching it is Slanker, and he was kind of shaded over there a little bit. By the time we already looked up to see, he was already out in that gap, and he was right underneath it to make the catch.
That's one thing that Slanker showed there and yesterday is his ability to just react to where baseballs are hit. You saw yesterday he traveled a great distance in order to make a catch late in the game, and that one there, you see him, as you said, already under the ball before it got there.
Takas, he got hit there. Hit by pitch, a 2nd one here, and now runners 1st and 2nd, 1 out for Caden Parker. But especially when you've got it as an expansive of an outfield as what Bob Wren Stadium has, you need outfielders like that.
Yeah, absolutely. He fits in very well here.
So Caden Parker, he walked, had a stolen base, but struck out looking his last time up. He's going to foul that one out. Bowling Green, they've had a few opportunities, left 2 on base in the 2nd inning, had back-to-back walks with 1 out, was unable to do anything, as that's a strike.
It's another really good pitch there from Masters. You see him deep in his pitch count, 97 so far, with 2 very nice pitches to start off this at-bat for Parker.
Try to see if he can get out of the inning. That's going to be up the middle. It's caught. 1. Can they get 2? Yes! Double play. Nelson to Inich to Shepard. And that'll get out of the inning. A quality start for Dylan Masters, and Bowling Green is still held scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the sixth upcoming for the Bobcats. It'll be 2-3-4. J.R. Nelson, Trey Cassidy, and Ben Slanker. Luke Krause still on the mound for the Falcons as the Bobcats with a 6-0 lead, trying to get the job done here today. Nelson really helped with that. Scored twice, had a double in the third inning, a 2-run homer in the fourth. That pitch inside. Ball one.
Inside breaking ball there from Krause. Haven't seen a lot of that from him so far. As we mentioned earlier, he's having a little tough time controlling his breaking stuff, but has been able to pump the strike
hit
zone.
him.
Oh, got him in the ankle there.
I guess he swung with that too. So
that'll be ball two.
I think that'd be strike. Or we'll see what that was. There's a strike there. That was a weird, it looked like it hit him.
That one just misses low and outside. Another fastball there. We saw that in the last inning. Krause working his fastball low and leaving his breaking stuff middle to high.
3-1 count. There's a strike. It's a really good pitch there. Krause has some good stuff.
Another full count here for the Bobcats.
And that's going to be slapped over to shortstop, grabbing it, throwing over to first in time. Antillion ground out 6-3, one down.
Yeah, Antillion's been definitely the busiest out defensive player for Bowling Green. Several putouts just himself. Had to range out into shallow left field to catch a couple fly balls. Pretty good defensive reliability key here for Bowling Green is Antillion out there at short.
Now Trey Cassidy. That pitch is going to be a strike to Cassidy. 2 doubles today, has an RBI as well. Picked that up in the third inning and scored actually as well on the Ben Slanker home run. That pitch outside and kicks away from Garrett Wright. Cassidy's dad was in the Marlins farm system for a while. As that's going to be popped up foul. He's got an interesting collection of fandoms because he's a Marlins fan. He likes Yadier Molina, so he's a Cardinals fan. And then he's also a Browns fan. So
all over the place.
All over the place. All over the place. Well, I mean, I guess when your dad is trying to play for the Marlins, you kind of got to be a fan. That's going to be over to the Ohio bullpen foul. 1-2 the count.
Krause getting a little bit deeper into his appearance here. 22 pitches so far. Only allowed 1 run, but 10 hits put up on the board by Ohio.
That's going to be sent out to center field. Parker working over to his left, makes the catch. And 2 outs. Since Krause has come in outside of that home run, he's really tightened it down. Yeah. And the same thing with Masters. That's been surprisingly for Dylan Masters for Ohio, is that he's done the more that he's gotten into the game, the more he's gotten a feel for the game, and the better he's been. He's been able to shorten these innings.
Yeah, ever since Krause took over there for Bell, that home run is kind of the only downside to his appearance here today. He's got a strikeout, a couple of groundouts, and a couple of flyouts. And Ohio, their really only answer to him has been extending at bats here. As he's thrown a couple of full counts, a couple 2-2 at bats. But Krause had a pretty good day here so far.
Got a 1-1 count against Slanker. Slanker reached every single time, 2 walks and a 2-run homer back in the third inning.
Yeah, Slanker, a big rebound day here after yesterday. It was a little bit down for him.
That pitch catches the inside part of the plate, 1-2 count.
That's a great curveball there. Starting out towards the inside shoulder there is Slanker and just cutting across the plate, finding the high inside corner.
Outside, did he go? No. Check swing there from Slanker.
Slanker left the evidence out there for a while. He kind of just held up and checked while the umpire made his call. Normally you don't see that. They'll try to pull it back as fast as they can.
That pitch is low, and the count goes full here.
Another full count here. Krause struggling a little bit to maintain an advantage in these at-bats.
And that's going to be sent out to left field. Working out there is Gonin, and he's going to make the catch just before the warning track, and that will end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning, the first one of the day for Bowling Green, as Kraus sends him in order. We head to the seventh. 6-0 Bobcats lead. Close the book on Dylan Masters. 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 hit, no earned runs. A great quality start for the senior left-hander. And another senior left-hander is going to come in now, Adam Beery. ERA 12.60. His last appearance, he showed up on Marshall on Tuesday. 1 inning pitch, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, had a triple, and a wild pitch. And 5 innings of work so far, and this is his 6th appearance. His first pitch is going to be a strike to the 7-hole hitter, Gavin Gonin.
Yeah, Beery coming into this game, 10 hits allowed so far, and giving up 7 runs with a strikeout to walk ratio, 6 walks to 3 strikeouts. Has 2 very nice pitches in a row. Gets Gannon swinging on both of them, finds himself up 0-2.
And especially when you have your starter go as deep into the game and have as much success as he had, that's got to bring a lot of success out of the bullpen, as that's going to be fouled off. Do it again at 0-2.
Yeah, we saw the same thing yesterday. We'll see if Beery can break the cycle a little bit, as Hudson McCall yesterday went 6 2/3 in the loss in that game yesterday. It was 8-6 was the final score of the loss. Ended up going to Tyler Peck, who came in relief.
Oh,
just misses low.
Just misses. Beautiful frame there by Cassidy. That looked Yadier Molina-ish.
Yeah.
That's going to be fouled off, as Gannon really battling here.
You saw him come low and inside there with that most recent pitch, and then comes back high and inside and kind of jams Gannon.
Gannon with a walk and a single. Been on base twice, trying to start a rally here for the Falcons. He's going to send that out into center field. Messino was really deep. He's going to have to come in, and it drops. Got to be a hit there, as Mancino was playing deep and could not get in time. Enich and Nelson tried to bring in from the middle infield as well, but nobody could get there in time, and that's going to be a single for Gannon.
It was an excellent hustle there by Paulie Mancino out in center field. Not only did he run in and try to make the play, but after the ball hit the ground, he recognized the second base was left uncovered and sprinted into the infield. And good effort there from Paulie Mancino, just unable to make the play. And Gavin Gannon's having himself a day. That's his second single, and add a walk to that.
Only person to have a hit so far for Bowling Green. That is going to hit Garrett Sloan. And, we talked about having the having the mojo of the starter, and as soon as it kind of starts cracking a little bit, you have a good battle, and you end up giving up a single you couldn't do much about. Now you hit the next batter, and suddenly, as Zach Horkey will come up. Horkey 0 for 2, had a fly out in the second inning and struck out looking in the fifth.
Yeah, it's the fourth hit batter here for Ohio. And we're going to have Beery step back on the rubber here. Runner in scoring position. It's been few and far between here for Bowling Green this afternoon.
That pitch just a little bit low. Ball 1 to Horkey. Horkey in his third start does have 7 strikeouts. That would be beautiful here if you're a Bobcat. That's a swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
And Horkey's got some great versatility to his game. Came in relief, as we said yesterday. He appeared a few times this season, but he's ready when called upon, definitely, is Zach Horkey.
So a swing and a miss there. Quickly a 1-2 count.
This would be a great way to bounce back from that hit batter.
High, great job. Cassidy able to hop up and grab that before it went back to the backstop.
And with the cement backstop here and how close it is, and considering the fact that it's turf behind the backstop.
That's going to be sent into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Right there is Carl. Let's see. They will hold the runner at third. So the bases will be loaded with no outs, and to the top of the order in Gunnar and Tillian.
Yeah, Gannon held up there at third. That was a great job coming on to make the play. Carl sprinted up to that ball, and you can see the way it skipped through the turf. It kind of dies once it gets out there to the grass. So Carl, great job meeting the ball and keeping the Falcons off the board.
Now Antillian on the season, a .268 batter. 0 for 3 today with a strike. All 3 of those outs, though, have been to the outfield, and a few of them have been pretty deep. I think that if it gets out there, especially with where Ohio's playing, all of them playing about 20 feet before the track, as that's going to get through. It's a base hit anyways. Into left field, 1 run scores, and it'll be stop sign on for Sloan, but an RBI single for Antillian, and the Falcons are on the board with bases loaded and still nobody out.
Yeah, it was a good piece of hitting there from Antillian. Just kind of throwing his hands at it, understanding that a ball in play most likely means a run scored with where Ohio's infield was playing. And Dolan just unable to get there, a little bit to his right. That was a pretty hot shot. And Falcons find their way on the board. It's 6-1.
Cassidy checking on his pitcher. He comes back. Bases loaded, no outs. Top of the 7th. A 5-run cushion as Sam Seidel comes to bat. Seidel had 3 RBIs yesterday, added another one on Friday. There's a strike. This is a big opportunity for him to get some here.
It's another first pitch strike here from Beery. Something he's been looking to do is get ahead in counts, doing it successfully so far.
It's going to be lay off 1-1 the count. And I think the thing is you just have to trust your stuff, because he's been able to get out in front, but he's gotten beat around a little bit. They've found the pitches and been able to see the ball well enough to square up those pitches. That pitch just a little bit outside. The count goes to 2-1, and sometimes that makes you lose a little bit of confidence in your stuff.
And Seidel is definitely one of the Falcons that's put up some pretty good battles here at the plate. First time around, full count strikeout. Second time around, same deal. And then another full count in his third appearance.
That's high out into right field. It's deep. It's going to be the center fielder, Mancino. He's going to throw to third. Good job there. It'll hold the runner at second, give up the runner at home. It's going to be a sac fly RBI for Seidel. F8, give him an RBI. It's 6-2, but there's no runner on third anymore.
Yeah, that was a great read from Paul Mancino, understanding that that ball was hit a little bit too deep to get the runner at home, but you can always hold the runner at second. That was a real heads-up play there from the Bobcat center fielder.
So now it'll be Garrett Wright. Wright reached all 3 times without an official at bat. 2 hit by pitches and a walk. He's going to send that one down the left field line. That's going to go down into the corner. 2 runs are going to score.
Wave is on here.
And there's not going to be a play. Easily in. It's a 2 RBI double for Garrett Wright.
Excellent work there from Garrett Wright. Kind of the same thing we saw earlier from Zach Horkey. Just turning on a fastball there. Sending it down the left field line. And all of a sudden, Falcons are in business here. Only a 2-run lead remaining for the Bobcats as we're going to have a meeting at the mound.
It's the 4th double of the year for Garrett Wright, and it's 9th RBI. And finally gets a hit today. You know, he didn't have a hit for the entire day. It was 3 for 5 on Friday, 3 for 4 on Saturday. Couldn't get an official at-bat. He finally has one.
Yeah. He's been hit twice today and walked.
And we're going to have a pitching change here for the Bobcats as they cling to a 6-4 lead. We'll tell you who it is after this. Pitching change for the Bobcats. Dylan Eggle coming in. Had an appearance on Friday. Picked up the loss, actually. 1 inning pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Did have a strikeout and also had a hit by pitch.
Yeah, Eggle. Coming into this game, 10 runs allowed so far. Only 8 of them have been earned. Only 2 strikeouts to go with 2 walks. But a little standout statistic here for Eggle is the fact that he's given up 3 doubles. So a lot of extra base hits allowed for him this season.
And this is about the worst person to have bringing up. As Bertsheimer is going to be over to short. Grab, throw, over in time. There's 2 outs. As Bertsheimer's still without a hit, that hit streak is definitely in jeopardy.
That was a good play there by J.R. Nelson coming over to his right, making that play and beating out Birchmeyer. The runner will advance, however, so Garrett Wright on third base, knocking on the door.
But with 2 outs, he'll take that. TJ Takas now up.
Another smart play there by Nelson, just taking the out.
It's going to be a strike. Fouled off by Takas. Takas on the day, 0 for 2, 2 grounds out to second base, also got hit by a pitch. There's a strike from Eglin, and you could hear it. He really brought the beans on that one. You could hear his strain from up in the box here. Trying to get out of this inning. It's going to be fouled back into the screen. We'll do it again at 0-2.
It was a good job there by Tackett's. Just kind of throwing his hands at it, understanding that he probably wasn't going to be able to barrel that one up just based on where the pitch was located. Eggle trying to go high and outside for strike 3. He only has 2 Ks on his 2025 campaign. See what he can do here.
Low, and the ball gets away. Coming in and scoring, standing up, will be Garrett Wright. And we'll see what they score that, but it's 6-5 now.
Yeah, that's one that Cassie's going to want back. We were talking about it earlier, how defensively reliable Cassidy and Garrett Wright on the other side for Bowling Green have been all season. That one just kind of sneaks through his legs.
It's going to be a passed ball, is what they're going to call that, as that pitch outside, a 2-2 count. And now to get out of the inning, you still have to. You still have a 1-run lead, but you know, you have it to where you give up a run like that when you've got everything under control, and that shakes confidence.
Yeah.
That's going to be fouled off. We'll do it again at 2-2, and that will also close the book on Beery. 1/3 of an inning, no strikeouts, no walks, and 4 hits. That pitch just outside the count's going to go full. Beery 5 runs, only 4 earned. That last one is an unearned run with the pass ball. Taka's trying to keep the rally alive here in the top of the 7th for Bowling Green. Here's the pitch. Outside, he does with a walk. And that'll bring up Caden Parker.
It was a great at-bat there from Taka's. Fell behind early, but able to battle back, fouled off a couple of really nice pitches there from Eggle, and able to find himself a walk. His walks have been pretty common here for the Bobcats into the 7th inning.
That's going to be hit out into right center field, slicing, and did he catch it? No, I can't see. Does he have the ball? Yes, he does. Finally a signal. An amazing diving catch by Mancino. A little bit of a delay there, but he makes the catch, and Ohio finally gets out of the inning. But 5-run score, Ohio now clinging to a 6-5 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Bottom of the 7th, and a new pitcher for the Falcons. Redshirt freshman Nate Cresson, native son, went to Bowling Green High School. Now playing for the Falcons, ERA 1080, 4 appearances on the year. He was in on the game on Wednesday at Dayton. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, 3 strikeouts, gave up a double and a triple as Nick Dolan will take strike 1 here to start the 7th inning as Ohio had their lead eroded. They need some insurance here. Only up 6-5. As here's the pitch, that pitch outside. 1-1. And especially when you get into these situations, the last 2 days and really the last week and a half for the Bobcats, they've given up a lot of runs in the 8th inning. That puts a lot of pressure on the offense getting into these late game situations. Did he go? No. 2-1 the count, but a lot of pressure on the Bobcat offense right now.
Yeah, and Nick Dolan's been a pretty key piece in that offense. Not anything to show for it, but he had a sack bunt his last time up, reached on a fielder's choice and struck out his second time around. And for Kress, comes into the game, 5 innings pitched total this season. He's given up 8 hits and 6 earned runs to his name 7 runs across 6 earned. One thing about Kress is that he is susceptible to the long ball, giving up 2 home runs so far this season. And as you mentioned, 3 triples and 3 doubles and 1 triple.
Gave up a double and a triple on Wednesday at Dayton, but outside of that, a pretty solid outing to get around them, only giving up 1 earned run with 2 extra base hits. 2-2 count. That Dolan sends that deep into left center field. Back, and it is gone! Nick Dolan gets the Bobcats some much-needed insurance. It's 7-5, Ohio.
Yeah, that ball from Nick Dolan was blasted. He sat back, generated so much power off that back leg. So you see him celebrate with his teammates, putting the Bobcats safely in front by 2. But just an excellent swing there from the grad student to accompany his great day in the field. Nick Dolan plays long ball here in the bottom of the 7th.
And you talked about it, as that pitch is going to be a strike there. You talked about it with Kress, where he's susceptible to the long ball, and he gives up 1 there.
Yeah, 3rd home run of the year given up by Kress. There's Nick Dolan.
2 quick strikes now against Cawthron. Jackson Cawthron, the designated hitter, comes in on a 3-game hit streak. He's already extended that to a 4-game with a double. In the 3rd inning, he's going to chop that foul. It'll stay a 2-2 count.
Yeah, Dolan, that last at-bat continuing his offensive production, finally has something to show for it, as we mentioned. Sack bunt, moving the runners over his 3rd time around and reached on a fielder's choice with a strikeout in between. But plays long ball there. That ball hit off the scoreboard about at least 10 feet up. That one's going to miss low. Nice breaking pitch there from Kress. Jackson Cawthron, as you mentioned, extending his hit streak, had a great day yesterday. 3 for 5 with 2 singles and a double.
That pitch outside again, and Kress starting to lose.
Yeah, missing
Cawthron
outside
here.
low a lot. Kind of losing control a little bit over his slider. Watch for him to go fastball, maybe come back inside here on Cawthron.
That's going to be sent out of left field. That's going to drop down. Base hit. As Gonin was playing pretty deep out there. And back-to-back hits to start the 7th inning for the Bobcats. And Pauly Mancino will come up to the bat. Mancino with a single in the 2nd. Got hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Struck out his last time up in the 5th.
And Jackson Cawthron got the pitch he was looking for as a fastball in the inside corner. Kind of jammed him a little bit, but just kind of blooped it over the head of Antillian at short for his 2nd hit of the day.
There's a strike. Pretty good pitch there from Kress.
Yeah, that was a good slider there. Started off on the inside half and ran away from Mancino. It was a good frame job there by Garrett Wright behind the dish.
That pitch low, 1-1 the count.
And that's what you see with Garrett Wright, having somebody as experienced as him behind the plate. Those balls, as a pitcher, you can feel a little bit more comfortable experimenting with pitches. Kind of, you can throw a backdoor slider, and you can expect that Garrett Wright will knock it down and keep the runners put. It allows you a lot more versatility as a pitcher, especially in a game as tight as this one.
Pickoff attempt back easily there is Cawthron.
Actually, Cawthron, not the speediest guy out there for the Bobcats, but certainly a capable base runner. As we mentioned it earlier. Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Ohio getting aggressive. You saw it right there. Cawthron took 5 or 6 very hard steps towards second base. Just letting Crest know that he's still there.
It's a 2-1 count against Paulie Mancino. There's a strike. Really looked like Cawthron was going to go there, but stopped after a huge secondary lead there.
We got some signs coming from third base coach Tim Brown. 2-2 count.
Inside, the count runs full.
There's a great pitch combination there from Crest. The last pitch was on the high outside corner. It was a fastball, and he comes inside. And Paulie Mancino working his full count. It's the second full count he has had so far.
Crest doesn't normally walk batters, only 2 on the season so far. He'll get a strikeout here, a swing and a miss by Mancino.
Excellent breaking pitch there from Crest. Started out right over the heart of the plate, and it just kind of ran down and away. Paulie Mancino swung, and as soon as the bat left his shoulder, he knew he wasn't going to make contact with that one. Excellent pitch there from Crest.
And now Dylan Shepard up to bat. Shepard with a few key hits. Had a pinch hit RBI double yesterday, and had a solo home run in the 5th inning, and we're going to have a mound visit here. Nobody out in the bullpen, so just talking about defensively what they want to do against Shepard.
Shepard, as you mentioned, reached on an error his first time up.
Or maybe he is done. Are we going to see a pitching change?
Yeah,
I don't see anybody out there.
There's somebody throwing down there in the
yes, there is.
BG bullpen. And, yep, it looks like Crest will head to the dugout. Kind of an underwhelming performance here from Crest.
Maybe I think they're trying to go matchup here with a left-hander batting with Shepard.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to go with a matchup. We'll tell you who the new pitcher is when we come back. Bobcats lead 7-5 here in the bottom of the 7th. One out in the bottom of the seventh, and they're going to go righty and lefty. New pitcher here. It's Ty Roeder. His fifth appearance of the season. Already showed up on Friday. 2 1/3 inning pitch, 4 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and did have 4 strikeouts. Or the transfer from Wright State. That pitch outside. One of the better ERAs of this Falcon team, only a 3.12, especially coming out of the bullpen. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, 3.12 up there for Bowling Green in terms of relief pitchers. As this one is going to be snagged by Birchmeyer.
It is, and that's the end of the inning. My goodness. Cawthor got doubled off there as Birchmeyer, just a flash of leather, and that's the end of the inning. And now we head to the top of the 8th inning, the dreaded inning for the Bobcats of this series. Can they keep Bowling Green off the scoreboard this time? We'll see after this. You're listening to Ohio Bobcat Baseball. Dylan Eggle back on the mound for the Bobcats to start this top of the 8th inning. We talked about it pretty much through the entire broadcast. The Bobcats' trouble with the 8th inning. Every single 8th inning that they've had since back to February 26th, they've given up a run in. There's not really room for that here. Leading 7-5. That pitch inside and low to Gavin Gannon.
Well, they're going to get a little bit of help here with bottom 3 batters for Bowling Green. Gannon, the only Falcon with a hit. As of last inning.
That pitch just a little bit high, and the count goes to 2-0 with Eggle. And you got to tread carefully with Eggle as well, because he had 36 pitches on Friday. You get a day of rest, but still, that pitch inside. Ball 3-0, but you don't want to push him too much.
Missing inside there, taking a little bit of speed off of it. Looked like a little change up there. And Gavin Gannon here, 2 hits so far in this one with a walk thrown in there. Garrett Sloan has been hit by a pitch. He's coming up next. And then in the hole right now is Horkey.
It's a 4-pitch walk.
Yeah, he's going to take another base there. That's his second walk of the game.
So now Garrett Sloan up to the bat. 0 for 2 on the day. Did reach and scored after a hit by pitch. Last inning.
That'll guarantee you're going to have to see Gunnar Antillion, who had an RBI single.
Big moment here for the Bobcats. There's a strike.
That's a good pitch there.
Bobcats trying to avoid a sweep. There's been a lot of sweeps in the Mid-American so far, without looking at the scores that are final. Every single other series has been a 2-0 count as that pitch low. Minus, of course, I believe it was Kent State and Northern who had one of the games rained out. They were playing a doubleheader today. But Ohio trying to buck the trend and get a win. Runner goes, fouled off over the hill past the first base dugout.
Bowling Green getting creative, getting a little bit aggressive there. Hit and run action going on. As Ganun, the speedy left fielder, was about halfway down to second by the time that ball reached the plate. He got a great jump, just fouled off there by Sloan.
1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Outside.
That was a breaking pitch, started right over the middle of the plate, just ran away from him a little bit. Good job there behind the plate by Trey Cassie to keep that one in front.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's sent out into left center field. Back there, Mancino making the run. It's going to drop. They might be able to hold the runner, and they will hold the runner, but it is going to be a double for Garrett Sloan. And now both runners in scoring position. That's the tying run out on second as the winning run, at least the game leading run, comes to the plate with Zach Horkey.
Yeah, that's Eggle's fourth double given up so far this season. And we mentioned how Eggle might have a little bit of confidence coming in here against the bottom three in the lineup for Bowling Green, but the bottom three have strung together a walk and a double here. And Bowling Green's knocking on the door once again in this dreaded eighth inning for the Bobcats.
And Horkey sends that one deep left field. It's in a gap. It doesn't matter. That's gone by a long way. And the Falcons take the lead.
Horkey put a charge into that one over the netting out there in left field. You saw Mancino break on it, and it did not matter as Horkey puts the Falcons back in front with a huge three-run home run. It's the second three-run home run of the series here, not for Horkey, but for the Falcons overall, as we're going to have a mound visit here, and Eggle's day is done.
The dreaded eighth inning hits again, and the Bobcats trail now 8-7 for the first time today. We'll tell you about the new pitcher after this. You're listening to Bobcat Baseball. It'll be Landon Price to try to get the Bobcats out of the inning after the 3-run homer by Horkey. Price had faced one batter yesterday, struck him out. Only took 6 pitches. His 5th appearance on the year for the transfer from Ohio State. And talked about Northwest Ohio. Price also from Northwest Ohio up in Lincoln View. That's a little bit around the Van Wert area.
And Landon Price coming in, 7 innings pitched so far this season, 14 hits given up. So at least 1 hit per inning. And Landon Price settling in here. 8 earned runs on the season. 6 strikeouts to 5 walks as he throws a nice pitch there to even up the count at 1-1.
Against Gunnar Antillian. And it's Groundhog Day again for the Bobcats. We talked about it, their 8th inning woes. And again, it's happened with 3 runs here in the 8th inning. That pitch high, a 2-1 count.
Antillian 1 for 4, as you said. Reach on a single and end up coming around to score on that one.
That pitch, 2-2 count.
It's a great pitch there. Fastball low and outside. Froze Antillian a little bit.
It's a similar situation, this, as what we saw as that pitch a little bit high. The count runs full. Similar situation to what we saw on Friday night. Bobcats have a 2-run lead heading into the 8th inning. Bowling Green comes in, takes the lead. They ended up scoring 4 runs that inning, and the Bobcats had to scramble to try to get it back. That's going to be fouled down the third base line. We'll do it again at full count.
It's a good job there by Price coming inside and forcing Antillian to fight that one off on his hands. It did look like it covered that inside high corner.
And that'll be low. Ball 4. So the first 4 batters reach for Bowling Green here in this top of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Sam Seidel. Seidel with a sac fly RBI last time up. On the day, he's 0 for 3, though. 2 strikeouts and a ground out outside of that. Bobcats would love a double play here.
They were able to execute one earlier. It was 4-6-3 double play at the end of the inning.
And it's going to be a bunt up the first base line. And tried to tag, and I think he got him. It's a smart play there by Shepard. A diving tag, and he gets Seidel. It will move the runner up on the sac bunt, but take that. Get it out of the inning.
Yeah, that was a good, well-placed bunt there by Seidel. Just barely unable to beat it out. That was a very athletic play down there at first by Shepard. And it looks like we're going to take an intentional walk here.
For Garrett Wright.
Yeah.
He had that RBI double the last time, so an intentional walk. Runners on first and second with 1 out. I wonder if that might be kind of just to set up that force out at third.
Yeah.
And get a double play possibility.
And we saw that yesterday. It was a great look there by Hudson McCall. Fielded a bunt down the third base line and got it over to Dolan at third to eliminate the lead runner there. Also, you got to consider the fact that Garrett Wright has been walked 3 times and a 2 RBI double, ended up scoring on a pass ball. So he's been very effective here for the Falcons.
And now to Brady Birchmeyer, which, I mean, it's not exactly the person you would want to intentionally walk to get to, but you want the force out. Birchmeyer has gotten a hit in every single Bowling Green game except for today so far, but he's going to send that one out to center field. Looks like somebody's underneath it, and it is the right fielder, Slanker. Runner's going to move up to third, but 2 outs, and I don't think Birchheimer will have to see if he gets another opportunity next inning, but that might be the end of his 13-game hitting streak.
Yeah. Out there in center field, Mancino moving to his right, able to make the play. Smart throw just to get it into the infield, but Antillian able to move up to third there. And again, walks haunting the Bobcats with an intentional walk to runner at first, and Garrett Wright and Gunnar Antillian had a full count, drew a walk, and now finds himself standing down there at the hot corner, 90 feet away.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs for TJ Takas. Takas will watch strike 1. Was able to draw a walk last time on a full count.
He's also been hit by a pitch. That's been a pretty common theme here for Ohio. Several hit batsmen for Bowling Green.
inside, and it'll stay inside despite a good frame job by Cassidy there. Count goes to 1-1.
That's a great breaking ball there from Price. Started it out, looked like it was going to hit Tockets and just dove back inside. Not enough, though, as that one misses outside as well.
2-1 count, and these are good pitches. It's definitely shifting
Absolutely.
the eye level, but he's just not getting the call. They're just a little bit outside.
Yeah. And that's a spot that all the, Bobcat pitchers so far in this game have been struggling to hit, that outside corner. Is this one low and inside, so some fastball control trouble early for Landon Price.
Count goes to 3-1. Got to get a strike here. You do not want the bases loaded for anybody. Caden Parker not been incredible today. 0 for 3. He's grounded into a double play, but you want to end this inning as that's going to be fouled back, and that'll get the count to full.
2 down here in the inning. Up the middle infield, playing back on the infield, or on the outfield grass. And Nick Dolan over there at third, about halfway in the brown turf. No longer holding the runner on.
Here's the pitch. Outside, it's a walk, and the bases are loaded again. And Caden Parker will come up. Parker ended the last inning with a fly out to center field on the first pitch. The Bobcats hoping they can get him to end this inning as well. Trailing by 1, 8-7 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, spiked, good. Blocked there by Cassidy.
Yeah, that one, trying to find, the 5-hole there through Trey Cassidy. Just able to kind of pin that one between himself and the ground. Huge right there to keep the runners put.
Inside, nearly hit Parker there. Nearly wore his 10th RBI of the season.
And that's another great inside pitch here as we got some more action down there in the Bobcat bullpen. Just missing on these.
The 2-0 pitch. It's going to be fouled through the third base coach's box. 2-1 count.
Caden Parker's done a pretty good job so far this game of, working the count a little bit. His first at-bat worked it full, and then was able to draw a walk. And second at-bat saw 5 pitches and ended up going down looking.
That's down the line. Foul. Foul ball just by a few inches. It skipped to the left of the third base bag, and the Bobcats are lucky for that. And it gets a 2-strike count now against Caden Parker.
This would be a great way to end the inning here. Not only a little bit of momentum for the Bobcats, but you get out of this jam. Bases loaded for the Falcons.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be chopped over to Dolan. He'll run to third unassisted and get the Bobcats out of the inning. But a 3-run homer by Zach Horkey has given the Falcons their first lead of the day. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Falcons 8, Bobcats 7. Back at Bob Wren Stadium, the Bobcats trail for the first time today, 8-7, as they try to avoid the sweep. They'll have the 9, 1, and 2 hitters up. Caleb Carl will start it off. Carl on the day 0 for 3, had a strikeout looking, fly out to center field and ground out to the shortstop. He'll foul off the first pitch.
And the 8th inning strikes again against the Bobcats. Like you mentioned, a 3-run home run there from Zach Horkey puts Bowling Green ahead 8-7.
That's going to be chopped over to third base. Good play there, Sloan. Throw over to first. A little bit of a wobbly throw, but still gets there in time. Ground out 5-3, 1 down. And it'll go back to the top of the order, and Matt Enoch.
Yeah, like you mentioned there, Sloan not putting everything he had behind that ball, kind of a looping throw, making Birchmeyer work over there, but able to connect as this infield for Bowling Green has been a little bit shaky with multiple dropped fly balls. And there you see another iffy play there, shall we put it, from Sloan.
Now Enoch fouls off the first pitch. 2 for 4 on the day. A double and an infield single, and then 2 flyouts to left field. That pitch outside, 1-1 the count.
Enoch still holding the top spot in terms of batting average in the MAC. And another 2 for 4 day today as he fouls that one back over the Ohio dugout.
1-2 count. Roeder right now in line for the win. That pitch outside, 2-2 the count. I wonder if we're going to see, there is a little bit of activity in the Bowling Green bullpen. I wonder who their closer was going to be. You look at Connor Penrod, he's closed the last 2 games. Gotten saves in both of them, as that's going to be sent into left field. Gets down a base hit in front of the left fielder, Gannon. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. Base runners for the Bobcats, and J.R. Nelson now to the plate.
It's got to be a big confidence boost for Ohio, knowing that you have a guy in Matt Enoch who, no matter where you put him in the lineup, he will find his way on base. That's his 3rd hit of the day. Came around to score on one of them. That was back in the 4th inning.
On a 2-run homer by this guy, J.R. Nelson. Nelson 2 for 4 on the day as well. Had a double that he scored on in the 3rd, and then the aforementioned home run. A home run here would be perfect for the Bobcats. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be a chopper. It's going to get to the second baseman, and just one play for Seidel. He'll throw it over to first in time, 4-3. That will move the runner to second, though. Runner in scoring position, 2 out for Trey Cassidy.
Yeah, so far in this game, Ohio's been able to capitalize pretty well with runners in scoring position. Only 7 men have been left on base. That is a series low for Ohio through 8 innings, with stranding 10 guys yesterday and 9 on Friday. Ohio have been able to capitalize a little bit better, especially with runners in scoring position, not relying as much on the home run ball, being able to, get some base hits, get some extra base hits, and bring in some runs.
Cassidy's had a pair of doubles today, including an RBI one in the 3rd. Trying to drive in the tying run, that is Enoch on second. He'll foul that one off. 0-1 count to start. He's gotten good contact. Every single ball he's hit's gone out to the outfield. The other 2 non-doubles he's had today were both flyouts to center field. That pitch outside, 1-1 the count. Cassidy second in the team with 12 RBIs. That pitch a strike.
That's a good pitch there. Starting it out a little bit, right on the inside line of that left-hander's batter's box, and just kind of brought it back at the very end. A little snap break there. Freezes Cassidy and finds the outside half.
Roeder trying to get out of the inning. Runner on second. Bobcats trail by 1. That pitch outside. 2-2 count against Trey Cassidy.
And that's another example there. You see Garrett Wright being able to block that ball. It allows a little bit more freedom for your pitchers to be able to try to get hitters to chase and use some breaking stuff in different ways.
That pitch outside again, and the count runs full. Second full count of the day for Cassidy. He hit a double on the first one back in the 4th inning. Outfielders pretty deep. And Enich has speed and a very big lead here. He'll be off on the pitch. It's going to be set foul. I'd imagine that if you can get it to the outfield and get a single here for Cassidy, Enich would be close to scoring.
Yeah, Enich can really run. And you got to be aggressive here, down 2. Coach Tim Brown has got himself spotted up over there in the third base coach's box. So look for him to be aggressive here with a fast runner on second.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Roeder strikes out Cassidy, and Bowling Green maintains their 1-run lead as we head to the 9th. 8-7, Bowling Green leads. Eight to 7, Bowling Green leads Ohio as the Falcons go for the sweep. We're in the top of the 9th, and a new pitcher for the Bobcats. First appearance of the year for Kobe Pasquarelli, a transfer from Elon, originally from Connecticut, Durham, Connecticut. Last year, 20 appearances. He started 2 games, 21 innings pitched at Elon. This is his first appearance here for the Bobcats for the redshirt sophomore, and it's a pretty big appearance here as he tries to keep this a 1-run game for the 4, 5, 6 hitters that are due up for the Bobcats in the bottom half of the inning. It's the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Falcons that are due up this inning, and those are the 3 that really killed the Bobcats last inning. Gavin Gannon got a walk, Garrett Sloan with a double, and then Zach Horkey sent one way deep out in the left field to give 3 runs for the Falcons to give them the 8-7 lead. The first pitch is a strike here to Gannon. Gannon has reached base every single at-bat. 2 walks and 2 singles, scored 2 runs in the last 2 innings. That's a swing and a miss there for Gannon again.
That's a good pitch there. You started out the at-bat high, about chest level there on Gannon, and then run it low. Looked like a little bit of a change-up there. Took some speed off.
And that's going to be past Nick Dolan to the hot corner down the left field line. Gannon to second, still in the corner, but he will stop at second base with a double 3 hits on the day for Gavin Gannon.
Yeah, Gannon there. Got to look at a very loopy breaking ball there from Colby Pasquarelli and just put some good wood on that and send it down the left field line. But Pasquarelli, pretty good looking breaking ball there. It started out, right over the plate and looped outside to Gannon. Just able to poke that one down the left field line, and the Falcons are back in business here in the ninth.
So now it'll be Garrett Sloan. He had a double his last time up. That pitch outside. And it's been the bottom of the order that's killed the Bobcats today. Out of the 8 runs, 6 of them have come from the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, all of them in the last 2 innings. Here's the pitch.
There's another one of those breaking balls. Started high and outside and bring it in on a right-handed batter. That's really tough, especially when it starts so high like that.
That one just missed. I'd go back to that, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
There's a strike.
Change up the speed a little bit. Run fastball.
Still inside, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Trying to jam these batters here. As you see, first baseman, that's Shepard playing on the very edge of the infield grass.
That's sent out to center field. Mancino comes in, makes the catch. No opportunity to tag for Gannon. And there's one down of the inning for Zach Horkey.
And Mancino out there in center has done a great job of not only deking runners, but getting the ball in quickly, as we saw a couple innings back. Made a catch over there by the 380 sign in right center, and then fired it all the way into third to hold the runner at second base. So pretty heads-up play there, showcasing his arm out in center.
That's going to get fouled off at the plate by Horkey. Horkey on the season, 250, only had 3 hits coming into the day. One of them was yesterday. He had a double, and today he's added 2 more to it with a single in the 7th, and then that 3-run homer that right now is the difference in the game.
Yeah, his first of the season.
That pitch is a strike. It's a 1-1 count against Horkey.
And watch out for this breaking ball here. You saw it the first pitch of the at-bat. Came inside on him and got Horkey swinging.
Horkey's susceptible to strikeouts. He's had 8 on the season, including 1 today. He's going to send that one. That's a chopper over the head of the shortstop, Nelson. Mancino's got it. They will hold the runner at third. So just a single for Horkey, a 3-hit day. He'll take that. Doubles his hit total for the season.
And that's what happens when you work exclusively inside. As you can get those jam shots. That one off the handle of the bat just floated it right over Nelson's head out there at shortstop. Runners on the corners here in the ninth.
1 out and back to the top of the order. Gunnar Antillion is 5th, and it got hit. Hit by pitcher. The bases are loaded. And Sam Seidel will come up to bat. Seidel has not reached safely today, but had a sacrifice bunt last time and a sac fly back in the 7th inning. He has an RBI.
That is the 5th hit batter by the Bobcats pitching. As they bring in the corners here, you cannot expect to be able to win games this close, giving up 5 free base runners like that.
Yeah, and the walks haven't been that bad either. I mean, minus the 8th inning, they had 3 walks. But before that, you only had 4 walks. But, I mean, between you combine the walks and the hit by pitches, 12 free bases. And the bases are loaded, and that's going to be sent into center. Mancino is playing over to the right. He's got a long way to go. Over to the left. Makes the catch. Not going to really have a chance. Bo Jackson sort of throw off the wall, but all the runners will move up. It's a sac fly again for Seidel. F8 RBI sac fly, and it's 9-7.
That was just great way to do a job there by Sam Seidel, putting that one on the warning track. And Mancino playing to his right. He was set up about halfway between the 405 sign and that Bobcat logo in center field. As we're going to see another intentional
walk. Second straight time Garrett Wright has been intentionally walked. So the bases are loaded again. And Brady Birchheimer, he's going to get one more chance to see if he can extend his 13-game hitting streak. He's got a hit in every single game so far this season. Does not have one today. And
I'm going to have time called by Coach Halleck for Bowling Green bringing his players off the base pass.
I wonder what they're doing here.
We did see yesterday Bowling Green attempted a suicide squeeze. I don't expect them to do that with bases loaded, but
I wouldn't do that with the bases loaded and one of your better hitters. He's got a hit every single time today, and he's due.
Yeah, he is
he
definitely
doesn't have a hit today. He's due for one. We'll see if they give him the opportunity to swing away. He's 0 for, I believe he's 0 for 4.
0 for 4.
0 for 5. Yeah, 0 for 5. They didn't give him a sacrifice tag. The runner did move up, but they didn't give him a sacrifice tag on that fly out last inning. So 0 for 5 on the day, but we'll see what they do.
Ray Birchmeyer yesterday, 3-run home run in a similar fashion as Horkey's put his ball off about halfway up the scoreboard out there in left center field.
Here's the pitch. Strike one on the inside part of the plate for Birchheimer.
Yeah, that's that breaking ball once again on the inside low corner. He starts at about eye level and it just breaks. Excellent pitch there from Pasquarelli.
2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be chopped. Is that fair? No, it is foul. It is a foul ball. Just barely a foul ball. And Birchheimer, I think Dolan would have been able to make a play there somewhere.
Yeah.
And so Birchheimer with another chance to extend this hit streak.
It was a good job being heads up down there by Dolan. Because although that was a foul ball, but it looked like it could have gone either way when it was about halfway up the line.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside. 1-2 the count.
And that's the first time we've seen him really miss with his fastball. He's been able to control it pretty well.
Inside, good plate discipline there by Birchheimer. That's right around where those inside pitches for Pasquarelli had been earlier that he'd gotten the call on. Does not get the call on that one. It was a little bit too far inside, and the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, look for him to start that breaking ball a little bit further outside.
Ooh, just misses it. My goodness. Birchheimer really held up there, and the count runs full.
Pasquarelli was halfway off the mound, walking back to the dugout. He thought he had that one.
9-7, Bowling Green, bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the ninth, trying to get some more insurance, and they will with a pitch outside. They'll walk in a run.
That marks the 7th run scored by Bowling Green's bottom 3 hitters. As Gavin Gadun, or excuse, 8th run as Gadun comes home.
And so TJ Takis will come up. Takis with a walk the last 2, also got hit by pitch as well. That's a strike.
And this is going to be big here to see if Pasquarelli can regroup after a very close non-call strike 3.
Just outside there. Count goes to 1-1 on Takis. And 10-7, you got to keep it here. 3 runs is doable. It's not ideal, but it's doable. Anything more than that, though, I'm not so sure. That pitch misses again. 2-1 the count.
And you're going to see him here. That breaking ball comes inside to righties. It's going to be drifting a little bit outside the lefties and give them a chance to read it a little bit better.
Nearly hit him. 3-1 the count on Takis. And Cassidy's going to go to the mound and talk with his pitcher.
Yeah, the control was really the issue here. He's been able to work pretty quickly. His velocity with his fastball seems to be what's getting him, through these at-bats. It's this big breaking ball that's been able to, it's being read very well by Bowling Green, and they've reacted to it very nicely. But Cassidy went out there to see if he could calm them down. 3-1 here with 2 down in the inning.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count runs full again. Second straight full count. The first one was a walk to Birchmeyer. Let's see what Takas can do. Runner's already going, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. But the Falcons do plate 2. The gap is 3 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Bobcats. Titus Lotz on the mound for the Falcons to try to nail down this save. He got the win on Friday, only 1 inning pitched. The one big thing for him, struggles with walks. Does struggle with walks, had 2 walks the other day on Friday. That's what chased him from the game. 6 walks overall in the season, but the big thing, 6 2/3 innings, only 4 hits. Batting average against 174. That'll do.
Yeah, Titus Lotz coming into this game, 2.70 ERA, which is the lowest in this pitching staff for the Falcons. As you mentioned, 6 walks to only 5 strikeouts, 2 earned runs to his credit so far this season, as that one's in there on the inside corner for a strike. He also struggled a little bit with control. He has 2 wild pitches so far in 2025.
And 2 hit by pitches as well. Only had 14 pitches on Friday, so he should be good to go however long, as he'll start against Slanker, and quickly an 0-2 count against Ben Slanker.
He's been bringing the heat here these past 2 pitches.
Was the number 2 rated left-handed pitcher in Ohio by Perfect Game, a product of Washington Courthouse. That's going to be a chopper. Caught by Berkheimer, race to the bag, slides in, and he got it. Birchmeyer slides in with his glove, head first, into the bag, and gets the ground out 3 unassisted. 2 more outs for the Bobcats.
And that's the second really athletic play we've seen Birchmeyer make. He has 3 solo putouts in this game, and that last one, able to field it cleanly and dive back. We saw earlier in the game to end the 7th inning, he dove and caught a line drive, turned it into a double play to end the inning. So Birchmeyer, definitely a defensive standout here for the Falcons.
Now it's Nick Dolan. Dolan with a home run his last time up. That first pitch just a little bit high. Lott's probably kind of familiar with Bob Redden Stadium, a member of the Washington Courthouse, the Blue Lions. He's a redshirt freshman, but that Courthouse team's come over here quite a few times as that pitch outside to play in the districts and the regionals held here at Bob Redden Stadium. And in high school, 6-1, .86 ERA, .67 WHIP. That's impressive for a high schooler, especially in a league as tough as the FAC.
Absolutely.
That pitch is a strike, 2-1 the count against Nick Dolan.
Yeah, you see Lotz has been able to locate his fastball pretty well here. That one very precise, finding that outside high corner. You can understand why Dolan would have laid off of that one, not trying to overextend yourself.
That's going to be over to third. Sloan grabs it, but not going, or no, he does throw over to first in time. And that is 2 outs on the inning. And now the last out, it's going to be Jackson Cothran.
And Jackson Cothran, 2 for 4 here today. And if you want somebody up in this point, Jackson Cothran's not a bad bet. He's been Mr. Consistency. He went 3 for 5 yesterday with 2 singles and a double, and he's 2 for 4 here with a double and a single.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike. A hard throwing pitch. You can tell when Lotz is throwing a fastball because he lets out a very loud grunt. He's really trying to go full beans with it.
We got a pitch comm issue, it looks like. But yeah, as you mentioned, he's really bringing the heat here in this 9th inning. Located that fastball very well in the lower outside corner.
There's a strike.
That was a beautiful breaking ball. Started out on the inside, ended up about middle of the plate there, and just froze Cothran. Bobcats down to their last strike.
Swing and a miss. Another beautiful pitch. Lotz with the save. He's hype, and the Falcons sweep the Bobcats. They get this one 10-7. And, I mean, you look at this series for the Bobcats, a lot of good things to build off of. Bowling Green is one of the best teams in the MAC. They were the regular season champions last year. They have a lot of good pieces coming back. You're happy that you're right there with one of the better teams in the MAC. But, man, you had 3 games slip away here in the 8th inning. You definitely got to shore up that bullpen.
Yeah, some of the bright spots for Ohio has definitely been their starting pitching. They had all 3 starters go roughly 7 innings. But, yeah, that bullpen has been not so consistent here for Ohio. They ended up throwing 5 pitchers here, and Pasquaretti being the last one. But some bright spots as Ohio was able to get on the board pretty consistently, putting up 7 runs today, 6 runs yesterday, and 4 the day before that. So consistently getting better, building brick after brick, and Bowling Green, as you mentioned, one of the best teams in the MAC, picked 4th in the preseason poll, finds themselves with a series weekend sweep over the Ohio Bobcats.
Yep, Bowling Green wins 10 runs on 9 hits. No errors, and Ohio 7 runs, 13 hits. They out-hit Bowling Green again. No errors, but I mean, just too many walks, too many hits batsmen today for Ohio from the bullpen. And for Bowling Green, the bottom 3 of the order were the difference. They scored 8 of Bowling Green's 10 runs as the Falcons complete a sweep of Ohio tonight as they win 10-7. For Charlie James, I'm Carl Blaylock saying good night from Bob Redden Stadium. 10-7, Bowling Green gets it done over the Bobcats. We hope you join us for our next broadcast. We'll be here next weekend as the Bobcats will look to get back in the win column. They got Morehead State on Tuesday before hosting Central Michigan at home on Friday. We hope you join us then.